Well, hello, everybody. 6 o'clock exactly. MJ here and Fester on microphone number 3. Yeah, 2's the old froggy mic, not being used much. But Gray Bull used that mic yesterday, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Michelle, typically on mic number 4, actually mic 5, 4 is the where's the mic 4 that's in the middle? Is
it bent
down?
down?
Oh, it's bent down.
An
Gotcha.
angle.
All right, I see.
It's off at an angle.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Michelle would typically be on mic 5, but Michelle not here this morning because she and Chloe were traveling yesterday, and they were supposed to be in a little after 10 p.m. Flight delayed coming out of Atlanta, Delta, and I didn't get her till close to 1 a.m. at the airport.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so she couldn't make it. I made it. I'm here.
Yeah, that's the barometer you're holding her to?
I'm here, but Michelle's not. No. Listen, I said, fine, no problem. I'll let you have a little extra sleepy time. So, yeah, Michelle was not here yesterday traveling with Chloe, school stuff. And she's not here this morning, but Michelle will return tomorrow. Hey, I'm fuming this morning.
All right.
I am fuming. F-U-M-I-N-G. Do you know why I'm fuming?
No, what's wrong?
Why am I fuming? Oh, and listen, some things might not appear to be exactly as they are. Just want to point that out. Just like, the side mirror on your car? It has that little print on there that appeared sometime in the 1980s or whatever that said objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear. All right. So things might not always be as they appear. So why am I fuming? Any idea? Anyone? You know what? I'm going to open this up to the early listeners listening right now to the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. I'm going to open up the phones. Early listeners right now, would you like to take a guess on why I am fuming? If you've never called the show before, give it a shot. Get in. Call us. Why am I fuming at the opening of this show right now? 800-990-1047. That's the phone number. So if you're an early listener, if you listen all the time, you never called in, hey, give it a shot. What? Just take a guess. There's no bad answer. Well,
there's plenty of bad answers.
There are a bunch of wrong answers, but I'm not going to say it's a bad answer. Call us and tell me why I am this morning. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 is the hotline in to get a hold of the show. Yeah. Just take a guess. I want to see the creativity. I want to see the variety and I want to see if anyone can actually get it correctly. Why I am fuming this morning. All right, Andrew's screening calls. We'll get some calls on here in just a matter of minutes. We usually have very good luck with getting early phone calls with people firing up the phone.
No hints?
Maybe I already gave a hint.
Something about a rear view mirror?
I
don't know.
Maybe I already gave a hint or two. All right, all the lines are beginning to ring here. So, all right, Andrew, screen away. Let me start with Lynn in Tarpon Springs. She was the first one in. Lynn, why am I, MJ, fuming this morning?
Possibly because your studio is still not ready.
You know how to get under our engineer's skin, don't you?
Good guess.
Yeah, it's a very good guess. You are correct. The studio is not ready, but that's not why I'm fuming this morning. I was promised that, let's see, I'm trying to come up with the date. I was told 30 days from roughly the 24th of March.
That was last Monday.
That was last Monday. Yeah,
Right.
My day back after my 2-week Philippines scuba adventure. So we should be in the new studio if Ron Weasley, our general manager.
What a great name.
What do you like that?
I like Ron Weasley.
I just came up with it, Ron Weasley.
We got to emphasize the weasel part.
All right. So our general manager and vice president, he assured me while I was on my scuba vacation that the new studio would be ready within 30 days. So, but listen, good guess, Lynn, but that's not the correct answer.
Lynn, he's fuming over that. He's not stewing.
He's
stewing. He's not fuming.
Lynn, thank you for trying. Oh, I said 2 calls just dropped off. two just dropped off.
You have a great day, you guys. I love you.
Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn. Love you too. All right. Hey, listen, 2 lines just opened up.
All right.
So why am I fuming this morning? Come on. People usually guess my weird, obscure stuff. All right. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Yeah, most of the ones, almost all the calls on hold dropped off.
They all dropped.
Yeah, Scott in St. Pete. Scott, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Scott, why am I fuming this morning?
I'm thinking you're loving that new bridge they built.
You think I'm not loving the new bridge they built?
Yeah, I'm thinking you like that new Harry Franklin. What are you thinking?
Oh, I didn't hear what it wasn't clear to me. What did he say,
He
Fester?
said you don't like the new bridge.
I know, I heard that part,
Right.
but there was a sentence that sounded like...
The sentence you didn't hear was,
Yeah. That's the sentence I couldn't put
No,
together.
your phone broke up, Scott. I'm sorry.
No, it didn't break up. He mumbled. It didn't break up. What are you talking about?
You guys are killing me. Stop.
Scott, it's Mumble Man. Scott.
Hey, no, this is Scott from U-Haul, MJ.
Oh, Scott from you. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Scott from you.
Good morning.
No, Scott, that is incorrect.
All right.
I like the new bridge. I just hope on both ends. I hope they get rid of the crazy S-turns. Because those S-turns increase the likelihood of an accident. That's
Yes,
I know.
especially in the rain.
Yeah, I know we've had accidents. Even before they did the switchover, we still had a little bit of a curve, and there was an accident. Remember, there was all those vehicles that were smashed up. I don't know, like a week or so before we went on vacation on spring break.
Yeah.
All right, Scott. Thanks for the call, buddy, but that is incorrect.
Good morning, guys. Love you guys.
Thank you. All right, listen, I do like the new bridge. I think the new bridge is nice. It's wide. It's smooth. I just can't wait till the whole thing's done so we don't have the jogs on both. You know what? All the other calls dropped off. Come on.
The obvious guess is that, you're going to bellyache about the studio's
No. Phones were loaded, and I'm watching them go drop, drop, drop. So everyone thinks I'm fuming because we're not in the new studio yet. All right, I'm just going to reveal it.
All right.
I am fuming. See, things are not always as they appear, and I gave out a hint. I am fuming because I drove in on fumes this morning. So I'm fuming. This is like a new trend. You know the folks that sit in the airplane seat and look straight ahead for a 3-hour flight? That's called raw dogging.
Yes.
So I'm trying to start a new trend here. Get to your destination and end up just barely getting there on fumes.
And that's fuming?
That's fuming. Yeah, that's a new trend I'm trying to start. Sounds like some dumbass tick schmuck video, doesn't it? Listen, I'm kidding around. I'm not trying to start a trend. I'm not fuming intentionally. Listen, just busy. I'm still trying to catch up on the time thing from the Philippines for 2 weeks, 12 hours ahead. Michelle had me travel with the family, which I'm fine. This past weekend, I was going to use the weekend to really kind of, get my circadian rhythm back. But I traveled. So I guess I wasn't paying attention to the amount of fuel in the car. I get in the car. I'm driving through the neighborhood, and I'm running a little late this morning. I'm like, oh, no, range, like 12 miles. I'm like, that's cutting it close. Anyway, I'm in the parking lot right now. There is 1 mile. So on the fuel range on the SUV, there's 1 mile left. And, it goes from, the fuel range is like normally in white.
Yeah.
And then it turns to like yellow with a little like the warning sign and the triangle and the exclamation point.
Yeah, those of us that live off of fumes know exactly what it does, MJ.
Yeah, the fumes you live off of is your gas problem inside your house. Your whole family's living on fumes, I'm sure, from you.
So 1 mile is all you really need.
Yeah,
You have plenty of gas.
Yeah, well, I shot a video, by the way, so I didn't post it yet because I didn't want to give it away, but I shot a video in the parking lot, and I'm going to post it to Instagram actually right now during this break we're about to take, first one of the morning. So I'm going to post my video, and you'll see how I was fuming. What are other things like, the raw dogging? What are the other actions or like the stupid challenges where there are other names? Some of the psychological games, like gaslighting or, the like sledding. I mean, there are like all the dating terms if something happens to you or you get ghosted. Anyway, fuming. I'm not trying to start the trend, but look, it'll probably happen anyway. Yeah, I fumed to grandma's house today. Yeah, I fumed to work today. I'm fuming.
We've got to get that added to the Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah. All right, listen, I'm going to post my video. You can see me in the car. Just a short time ago. Fuming. All right, so I'll post it to IG. I'll post the reel literally as soon as we go to break here. MJ Morning Show, Q105, back in minutes. It's going to be a busy Tuesday show here on 104.7 FM. Traffic's on. Here's Shriner. What up?
Good morning.
righty. Hope you enjoy that, our one and only song of the morning. Which, we really don't even need to play that. I just kind of like getting an extra 3 to 4 minutes to kind of lay out my crap on the MJ Morning Show on any given day. What are your thoughts? Should we be playing the 616 song, the one and only of the show?
I'm torn because sometimes I really like the song, and it's a good song.
Anyway, if you were just listening on the intro, instead of teasing what was coming up next, like this crazy deal by a flight attendant says that you need to lock up your toothbrush in the hotel safe.
Oh, I believe that.
All right. I want to hear what you think. Hang on. Get to that in a second. Instead of teasing an item, I mentioned, hey, did we ever play the single version of White Snake, Here I Go Again? So we just played the album version of White Snake, which, the intro, it starts off with this. But when I was a young and upcoming DJ, and this song was a hit when I was on 97 Star WGH-FM in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Newport News. I was a night guy. I did 6 to 10 at night. And back in 1987, that's when that song was a big hit. We never played the album version that, did the... We never played that. We played this version, which got cranking right away. And I always love, like, the guitar, the drum hit and the guitar, that kind of stuff. Here, have you heard this one, folks? Share that.
This is actually a better version.
You know what? I like it getting going with the... I always like that. The guitar going...
We get this.
Yeah. So you like that version better?
I think I do.
All right. Why does a flight attendant say you should lock up your toothbrush in the hotel safe? A lot of hotel rooms, they've got the little travel safe, which I've always heard that's bogus. Like, professionals know how to get into those things. Like, most of the safes have an override code to be able to get in.
The manager knows how to get into it. I mean,
if a guest loses or forgets the password or there's I'm always told there's a way to get into these hotel motel safes. So if you think you're like really, hiding your stuff from mastermind criminals or shady hotel motel employees, you're really not. But why do you think this flight attendant who does a lot of traveling, why do you think the flight attendant recommends that you lock up your toothbrush in the motel or hotel safe?
I mean, there's a couple of reasons I could think of, but one of them is horrific.
All right, you talking about the urban legend story?
Yeah.
I was gonna morph into that.
Yeah.
No, hold that for the finale. Yeah.
But otherwise, you think about it, you leave it on the the sink counter.
There's a version sort of the old urban legend deal. Anyway, let me share this. This is a flight attendant travels internationally. This flight attendant says, we don't take any chances with anything that goes in our mouth. Yeah, this is insane. So this flight attendant has 4.9 million followers on social media. What the F? I'm struggling. I couldn't even get to 25,000 yesterday. I did a follow-a-thon. I'm like 25 followers away from hitting 25,000. And I couldn't get to 25,000 yesterday. And I'm like, come on, follow me. Help me. Let me get to 25,000 followers on Instagram. I'm at 24,972 or something.
You really don't understand how Instagram works.
You know what? I need to show more ass.
That would help.
That's what I need to do. I need to do MJ ass shots. And me in bikinis or, high heels or I don't know. Anyway, if you want to, charity follow me on Instagram and you don't, I'm certified MJ Radio. You know what? I need to wear bustiers in my videos.
Yes.
Get it?
Yes.
Exactly. That's what I need to do.
completely agree.
All right. Certified MJ Radio. I'm trying to scrape to get to 25,000. This flight attendant has 4.9 million followers. What the F? What is going on here? All right. So she claims in her PSA, and she on her, and I'm guessing it's not Instagram. I'm guessing that she's on TikTok. Yeah, the Tik Schmuck. So she goes on to say that there are well, she posts a lot of travel tips, and I'm sure she's I didn't go through her whole feed, but she's very attractive, good body. That's probably why she's got 4.9 million. Anyway, she says, while you're unpacking your skincare, we're scanning the room like it's a crime scene. It's instinct shaped by years of sleeping in unfamiliar places. A flight attendant around the world tip number one, keep your toothbrush locked up because contrary to popular belief, one's toiletries kit is not the best place for the toothbrush. Many of us store our toothbrushes, medicines, and hygiene products in the hotel safe. We're not just afraid of theft, we've heard horror stories of staff using guest toothbrushes for disgusting things. For instance, last April, a Las Vegas hotel guest had a brush with horror after housekeeping allegedly used his toothbrush to clean his room. I guess using to clean the sink area, use the toothbrush as like a little brush to clean the sink. What?
It gets right into that grout.
Oh my! That's and around like the faucets.
Yeah,
you got some dirt in there. Used a traveler, a guest toothbrush allegedly to clean up the room. So that's why they're saying, just get your toothbrush out of the way where it's easy. Listen, I don't know if this is true or false that flight attendants put their toothbrushes and other sensitive toiletry items, or I don't know, maybe they got some hydrocodones or something, or some, who knows? Maybe they've got some prescribed Xannies or something. Who knows? Lock this stuff up. Listen, if you're in a hotel room, seriously, if you're in a hotel, motel, and you travel with your prescription drugs, and let's say you have some scheduled medication, let's say you do have some painkillers, or you have some anti-anxiety medication, and you're leaving these things out, you're in a motel room for multiple days. I mean, how many times are the housekeepers dipping in and, they're not going to miss one Oxy.
Yeah, one or two. They'll never
They're
know.
not going to miss a couple of bars of Xanax, How often does that happen? So anyway, she's saying lock up the toothbrush. And, of course, where you were headed, Fester, was the old urban legend story about the toofus brushes.
The horrific urban legend story.
Would you like to tell it? Do you know how to properly tell the story?
So there's a couple.
You going to let me down?
I don't know.
All right, go ahead.
This is back in the day before digital cameras now.
Yeah, this is, that's the original story, yes. The original story goes back to that. All right, tell the story.
So there's a couple who's on their honeymoon. They go to this Caribbean resort.
Yeah.
Right? and they leave, I guess they went out for the fun day, and they left a disposable camera in the room.
They went out on an excursion.
Right, yeah, they were out.
I don't know if it was a disposable camera, and if you're going out, why wouldn't you take your camera with you?
Right, I always heard it was a disposable camera or something, and there was like one or two photos left on it.
Again, we're talking about the old film cameras, not the digital cameras. Go ahead.
And they didn't leave any kind of tip or gratuity for the staff. And
I don't remember that part.
I don't remember. Just there's versions of it.
All right.
And to get back at them, the staff.
Well, how would you?
This is an urban legend.
Right,
I heard it 35 years ago.
Give me the money shot here.
The staff keistered the toothbrush
Right.
head.
So,
and then they took a picture of their backside with the handle sticking out of the caboose.
Yeah, the housekeeper, the story that I remember was that somehow they ticked off the housekeeper, and the housekeeper took the guest's toothbrush and shoved it up their butt, and then used their camera and took a picture. So when they got home from vacation and subsequently used the toothbrush many times, when they got their film developed,
and you see your pictures for the first time.
Yeah, they got a picture of their toothbrush shoved up the housekeeper's butt.
I mean, it wasn't very long ago that you never saw your pictures when you were somewhere. You had to wait to get them processed, and then you see them afterwards.
So my kids either listen live or they listen on the podcast,
right?
Or YouTube, TV, or the MJ TV on YouTube. So I'm wondering if Chloe and Julian, if they ever heard that urban legend story about the housekeeper at the hotel with the toothbrush up the butt.
Yeah.
Guys, I know you're going to hear this. Let me know. Let me know if this is the first time you've ever heard that urban legend story, which I don't think has ever been proven. I don't know if there's ever been a bona fide factual verification of the toothbrush up the butt of the housekeeper story.
I've always been very nice to hotel staff, the cleaning staff. Yeah, I might have been a little prickly to the guy at the front counter, but the staff with the cart in the aisle, I'm always super nice to those folks. And I never go to a hotel and don't think about that story.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, early morons in the news are next. I've got a theme coming up next as well. So there is a theme to morons in the news, and I like it. I like it. Right? And that's going to be next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, if you... Oh, yeah, 6:38 at the MJ Morning Show. Oh, we're back early. Yeah, so I have extended time for early morons in the news with a theme.
Let's go.
Did you catch what I had teased a little earlier? That there was a theme to morons in the news today. What is the theme? First of all, it's all Florida.
All right.
Let me drill in even deeper. It's all Villages news.
Wow.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, you got to love some good Villages news. And, man, I even posted an image from a story from the Villages last night on my Instagram. So if you're a follower, you might have already seen this posted on my Instagram. If not, I'll give you the deets and you can check it out, because when I tell the story, it is absolutely a visual aid that you're going to want to see the image that I posted that goes with the story I'm about to tell.
Florida's friendliest hometown.
All right. Hey, Fester,
Yeah.
get ready to go to my Instagram so you can see it. Listen to this headline, Villages News. Villager arrested on DUI charge after crashing golf cart into tree. The guy is so hammered, he smashes his golf cart. And I think there are more golf carts up there than actual cars
I think that's right.
in the village. Look at this.
Holy crap.
The guy's mugshot, his whole neck and head is immobilized because he obviously has a neck injury. Look at his lip. He obviously bashed his lip into, I don't know, the tree or the steering wheel on the golf cart, or the bug screen on the golf. Who knows? So look at this guy. He got this old dude, gray hair, and he's got this huge. First of all, look at the neck brace. It's almost covering his bottom lip. It's so big. Have you seen a neck brace like this? I mean,
it keeps his whole head immobilized?
yeah, well,
right?
that would be the word.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Listen to this. I want you to meet Scott Darren Lacoste. Not lacrosse. Scott Darren Lacoste, arrested on drunk driving after crashing his golf cart into a tree. Listen, we've always reminded people, you can get a DUI on a bike. You can get a DUI on a golf cart.
Yes.
You can get a DUI on a freaking horse or a riding mower. There have been stories around the country of DUIs for those, vehicles or what people were on. It's not just in a car or a truck or whatever.
Yeah,
No.
it's anything you control.
Scott Darren Lacoste, 66. Man, he looks older than 66, doesn't he?
He looks like he's had a rough life.
Yeah,
in
it looks
some
like he's
ways.
about 86. Anyway, it's even rougher because he's got a full, gigantic neck brace on after crashing into a tree. What did that sound like? Oh! There you go. Yeah. He's from the village of Hemingway, wherever the hell that is, all these damn villages. was found at the scene of the crash shortly before 6 p.m. on Friday. According to the arrest report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office, a deputy who arrived at the scene found that Lacoste had eyes that were bloodshot and watery, had a strong odor of alcohol coming from his breath. Not funny. He stood up and stumbled from his golf cart to an EMS stretcher, which was feet away. He's originally from Manchester, Connecticut. By the way, there's a good Frank Pepe outlet, I believe, near Manchester.
That's what he was telling the EMTs when they picked him up.
Frank Pepe Pizza. Is that Manchester, Connecticut? I think so. Yeah. We've eaten. That's a good location for Frank Pepe. So he admitted to EMS personnel that he had been drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
The report noted that Lacoste had a soft cast also on his right wrist from a previous injury. This guy's a mess.
He's not having a good couple of weeks.
His soft cast on his wrist is not visible in the mugshot. No. But, man, the biggest freaking neck brace I've ever seen is, hey, it's on my Instagram. Take a look. I posted this last night. Look at my headline. Dude gets DUI smashing golf cart into tree. So my Instagram is Certified MJ Radio. You got to see this. Look at the size of this freaking neck brace they've got on this guy in the mugshot.
The only thing this is missing is like that armature where it has screws holding your head in place.
Yeah.
You ever seen somebody with that?
Yeah, where they have to stabilize your neck after a neck injury, and they got like the halo thing with the metal halo with screws that are drilled into your skull.
Like rivets just keeping you in one position.
Yeah, there you go.
This is one click below that.
Yeah, Lacoste attempted to participate in field sobriety exercises, but finally concluded that he could not perform them because, quote, he was drunk. He says, I can't do the field sobriety exercises because, quote, I am drunk. Anyway, the mugshot's on my Instagram. Take a look at this guy in the neck brace. Certified MJ Radio. I mean, when you see it, you can't help but laughing at this picture. All right, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. So they took him to UF Health Emergency Room Clinic. He had consented to a blood draw, and the results are pending. I'm sure they're out by now. He was arrested on a charge of driving under the influence. All right, so that's Villages story number one. I told you, all the morons today are from the Villages, just north of the Tampa Bay area.
I got a question about this. So you get pulled over for DUI on a golf cart.
Yep.
This affects your ability to drive your car.
Oh yeah, if you get a DUI, it doesn't. You get your license suspended, or whatever's imposed by the court, or if you refuse to blow, you lose your license for a year in Florida.
But can you still drive the golf cart? Which I don't think you need a license for that.
That's a good point.
I don't know
on the golf course or.
Anywhere.
On a golf cart path? Good question.
I don't know. I mean, I had a friend who had a couple of DUIs, and he got one of those little, like, electric scooter bikes.
Yeah, there's some kind of loophole where if you have one of those scooter bikes under a certain horsepower. Right, yeah.
I mean, this guy looks a little too chubby and too old to be tooling around in a scooter in the Villages, but what's to say he doesn't hop right back on his golf cart after he gets
His new nickname is Scooter.
Hey, Scooter. Watch out for the tree.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, if you have anyone you know that lost their license and they're tooling around on a scooter, just nickname them Scooter.
Hey, Scooter.
Yeah, hey, Scooter. What's up, Scooter?
Beep, beep.
Hey, Scooter. Here's the next morons in the news from the Villages. Couple caught having sex on grave in historic local cemetery. What are they thinking? Is that a thing? Is that a turn on? Having sex on a grave in a cemetery? Is that like a thrill? Yeah, man and woman caught having sex on a grave. On a local cemetery listed on the National Register of Historic Places. A trooper with a canine stopped to give the dog a rest break at about 4 p.m. Last Thursday near the Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery off I-75 near Webster, up 75 here in Sumter County. The trooper spotted a white Nissan parked in front of the cemetery with the windows down and no one in the immediate area. Other troopers who were also present observed a white male and female at the rear of the cemetery going to Pound Town. Oh, it doesn't say that in the police report.
Hey, where are you guys headed?
Yeah, we're on I-75 headed to Pound Town. So they were engaged in sexual activity on the top of an unknown grave, number 43. Oh man, it's unknown. Grave number 43. That's terrible. Yeah, the troopers approached the couple who went back to the vehicle to obtain clothing. A search of their vehicle turned up a purse, which belonged to a woman identified as 46-year-old Stephanie Wegman, an heir to the Wegman supermarket fortune.
Yes. She's the black sheep of the family.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know if there's any relation. Stephanie Wegman is from the local area, from Webster. So they weren't just driving through.
Oh, you mean she's not of the fortune? Not of the
supermarket
magnate family?
I made that up. I mean, she could be, but I'm looking at her mugshot. I doubt it.
She's not living in Webster off of the royalties of the supermarket chain up in the north.
I highly doubt she's part of the northern Wegman supermarket chain. Yeah, but then the purse contained 2 pill bottles. One held 13 alprazolam pills. Well, alprazolam. All right, son of a bitch. If you know the pill, you know the pill.
The other people who know.
The other contained 20 oxycodone pills. Wegman, who has a prior criminal history, did not have a prescription for the pills.
Oh, no.
What a shocker. I am shocked. Did not have a prescription for the pills. I am shocked. P. Diddy is shocked.
I'm shocked at this information.
Yes. Everyone's shocked. She was arrested on several drug charges, booked without bond into the Sumter County Detention Center. Yeah, the man who had suffered a leg injury was transported to a hospital in Dade City. That's a long drive. Webster to Dade City?
Does Webster not have a
hospital?
I don't know.
Oh, they're way back in the times.
We
don't
clinic.
have a hospital here, no.
We got a country hospital. We trade eggs for medical service.
Yeah. So among those, by the way, buried. You know, my wife says buried.
Buried.
Yeah, if Michelle were here, I'd have this conversation. You know, I say buried. You're buried in a cemetery. Michelle likes to say buried. It's more of a emphasis, buried.
I guess so.
I always give her a hard time for that. So among those buried at the Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery, at least 8 veterans and 19th century county commissioners. Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
19th century, a couple of county.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 19th century county commissioners.
Eight veterans from what, like the Civil War?
I don't know. It's the 1800s. Probably late 1800s. Is what I'm thinking. All right, what time is it? 6:49. And the morons roll on. And like I said, the theme is it's all Villages news today. Listen to this one. Thief steals robotic lawnmower from Village's home. The robotic lawnmower, I guess, is just doing its thing. Someone drives by. Oh, I want that. You've seen those robotic lawnmowers.
They're really cool.
Yeah, it's like a Roomba for your lawn.
Yes, it does it like it's great.
Yeah. Listen to this. This is a letter to the editor in the Villages News. To the editor, my robotic lawnmower was mowing my yard yesterday, Friday, March 28th. Someone around 4:07 and to 4:30 p.m., someone took it out of our yard. Without the PIN number and charging station, it's useless to whomever took it. From Ann Massenberg, Village of Santiago. All right, if somebody stole Ann Massenberg's.
Massenberg.
Yeah, if anyone stole her robotic lawnmower, bring it back. Is that true? You need a PIN number?
Well, it has its own docking station. That I guess you might need some override
code.
But
is that like a theft deterrent that if you steal it, that you don't have the PIN number to make it operate? That's gotta suck, man. You got your robotic lawnmower is mowing your yard, and someone just drives by and steals it. Wow,
these things are pretty cool.
All right, and then final Villages news in early morons in the news. This might be the first time we've had like 4 Villages morons in the news stories in a row. Listen to this headline. Villager caught with shorts pulled down urinating at Lake Sumter Landing.
I mean, is that really a crime?
It's just called a Tuesday for Fester.
I mean, yeah.
Yep. A villager caught with her shorts down.
Oh.
Now that's the twist here.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
plot twist. I didn't see that coming.
It's a little bit of a plot twist, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm guessing that would be popping a squat. Yeah. So the villager caught with her shorts down, urinating at Lake Sumter Landing after her SUV got a flat tire. Yeah, because when you get a flat tire, it causes you to urinate. Unless she was trying to drive to the bathroom.
I mean, if you have to
yeah,
go.
you got to go.
That sounds like a reasonable defense.
Another motorist called 911 while following the white 2020 Kia Sportage on Saturday night. According to the arrest report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office, the other motorist reported the SUV could not maintain its lane and hit a concrete curb, causing one of the tires to go flat.
Oh.
Yeah, these are the more details. The motorist relayed the license number to 911, and 67-year-old Amy Lynn Griffing from the Villages. Her speech was slurred. She had a strong odor of alcohol coming from her breath. Massachusetts native. You know, whenever there's a villager arrested, they always point out where they're from originally.
Yeah, let the folks back home know how you doing.
Is that unbelievable? So in plain sight in her vehicle was a High Noon vodka seltzer drink. She also had a Buc-ee's thermos, which contained High Noon vodka seltzer in the Buc-ee's thermos as well.
Those thermoses, man, they keep it cold.
Holy crap. Yeah, deputies spotted the vehicle at the former home of Winn-Dixie. The deputy noticed an older white female crouched inside the open driver's door, sitting on the edge of the floorboard or the footboard with both legs out. She used the footboard, like the sill of the bottom of the door on the car. She had her upper butt cheek apparently on that, and she was using that as the toilet seat to then, clear past and then go number one.
She sounds very resourceful.
Oh my, she had her jeans shorts pulled down around her thighs, urinating on the ground. When the woman noticed the deputy approaching, she quickly pulled up her jean shorts. Oh, like he wasn't going to see what was going on.
What's going on here, ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah, she struggled and swayed through field sobriety exercises.
And when you got to go, you got to go.
Criminal history revealed that she had been convicted of drunken driving in 2016 up in Massachusetts. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, a special edition.
Florida's friendliest hometown.
All Villages morons in the news today.
That was fun.
Yeah, on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. That's fantastic. All right. Hey, 7 o'clock hour starts next, including... I want to know if one of my favorite waters is going to get hard to get now because of this stupid viral trend. I'll explain in a second. The viral thing. Oh, and speaking of Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
I saw something that Buc-ee's is selling for $6,000 that you're going to have to get. All right? Hang on. We'll get to that next here on the MJ Morning Show. Hey. MJ Morning Show. Welcome to the 7 o'clock hour. We do an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ in just a matter of moments. About 7:25, 7:26 every single morning. We go for over an hour and 20 minutes with no commercials, no interruption. It's just nonstop MJ Morning Show content. I would get into the Bucky story if Fester were here, but Fester is not here. Fester! Dude! We're back. We're live. I mean, nothing changes. Every morning, it's the same thing. And he's, I don't know, somewhere. Well, I guess I'll have to save the Bucky story. Listen to this. This woman who's 6'4" was mistaken for a trans woman and fired from Walmart. What? This is a crazy story. Fester, thanks for joining us.
The light's not on.
What?
Our hallway light that I use to see if we're on the air or off the air, the one that's right around the corner, is off.
Andrew, I'm turning my mic on. So when we turn the mics on and off, the light, the on-air light goes on in the hallway.
I heard you yell.
And
I'm like, we're not on the air. The light's off.
Turning my mic on and off.
Is it working?
Hello, testing 1, 2. Mic off, mic on.
I can't hear you. It's
Nothing?
kind of annoing.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
I'm an inherently annoying person. All right, so
That's what you do best.
that's what I do for a living. I'm annoying. What do you do for a living? I'm annoying. All right, so
I'm going to put that on my tax return.
what you
What is this?
major in? What you major in? Annoying.
Annoying, yeah.
All right, so Andrew, can you let the engineers know that our Fester's barometer on whether the show is back?
Yeah.
Hang on. Andrew's gonna fix it. How?
How?
Screw in a new light bulb. But of course, he's got to steal a light bulb from somewhere in this. He's going to go somewhere in the station.
I mean, we have a studio right down the hallway that they haven't used in like 8 months. It's still one of their light bulbs.
Anyway, so listen to this.
Apologies. All right. So that's awful. 6'4" and mistaken for
Yeah.
somebody you're not.
Danny Davis, a Walmart employee, says she was fired from her job of 7 years after a harrowing encounter in the women's restroom during a shift. Davis says a man entered the bathroom and yelled slurs, apparently mistaking her for a trans woman based solely on her height.
Oh, no.
She reported the incident to her immediate supervisor, but was fired less than a week later, with Walmart citing a security risk. Now her story is going viral online, and thousands are coming to her defense.
Absolutely.
We have a audio bite from her mother. And she's, I think she's 20-something years old. Her mother is speaking out on her behalf. So this is crazy. She's a tall girl, 6'4". She's, on the bigger side.
Yeah, 6'4" is tall. It's tall for a man.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's mistaken for a trans person, and Walmart ends up... Why? It seems that there's probably more to this story, or I don't know, maybe not. All right, so listen to the mother. All right, All right, so hang on. Andrew, do you want to just play the audio from in there, Andrew? Andrew says the audio is ready. Audio is not ready. Andrew, you have their audio right now? All right, play it from in there. Here's the mother. Go. Hit the
My
audio.
daughter's a girl. Always has been a girl. She was a girl in her first ultrasound, and she was a girl when she was born, and she's a girl now. And yet somebody thought she was transgender because of her height, followed her into the bathroom, scared the shit out of her, and somehow my daughter got fired.
What?
My daughter got fired. She's worked there for so long. She works hard. She's a good worker. And she got fired.
This is a weird story.
I mean, there's nothing else here?
Yeah, so the mother, the mother's taking up for her daughter, Danny. Danny posted this on, looks like Facebook. So for those of you that don't know, my employment at Walmart has been terminated after 7 years. Amber Janae, my mom, has posted a video about it from her perspective, but I'd like to share my own. Any advice is much appreciated since I just feel completely lost. I have never been fired or even been in trouble before. And I've been working full-time at Walmart for over 7 years. A terrible story. Let me share some more here. So a bit of a background for those who've never met me. I'm a tall, biological woman. You can hear the mom said she was a female on the sonogram.
Yeah, of course.
Ultrasound or whatever. Going through the whole thing. She says that I'm a tall, biological woman. I was born a female, and I identify as a woman. I am tall, really tall. I'm just shy of 6'4", and every inch is natural me. I'm a hard worker. In addition to working full-time at Walmart, I'm a part-time seasonal tax pro for H&R Block.
Oh, good. Well, this is tax season, so
I'm a certified notary public, and it has been my joy and privilege to tutor special needs children as requested.
She sounds like a pretty good citizen.
Last Friday, I went to the woman's restroom at my job around 8 p.m. I was alone in the restroom, locked in a stall and minding my own business when suddenly I heard a man's voice yelling inside the restroom. It scared me. I stopped what I was listening to so I could hear what he was saying. The voice was much louder than simply someone yelling in from the door. The man was fully in the restroom yelling something about trannies. I do know that is not the politically correct term, and it is definitely not the term I use, but I'm quoting him.
Okay.
And now he was going to beat all those P words and protect his wife and girlfriend from them. All the while, his wife, girlfriend was yelling, "Babe, get out. Babe, you got to get out of here. You're going to get in trouble." So it sounds like the guy's significant other, a female, was in the restroom and saw the...
She said she was in there alone.
Right, but maybe she wasn't. Maybe didn't know that, because this guy seems to be saying that his significant...
I mean,
it's such a... It seems that the guy saw the tall Walmart worker go in thinking it was a guy, and it was a transsexual and was trying to stand up thinking that there was a violation of his significant other. It's a weird story. And then the woman is yelling at the guy to get out of the women's restroom. Or maybe, I don't know whether she was inside or outside. I don't think that's really important. The entire time this is happening, she continues, I'm in the stall. I honestly totally froze. I'm not confrontational in the least, and honestly, I didn't know how dangerous he was. I was the only one in there, but so maybe the woman was outside and she was about to go in the bathroom, and that's when the guy stepped in thinking that the tall girl was a guy. So it seemed pretty clear that he saw me enter the restroom and assumed that I was a trans because of my height. It was terrifying, and I wish no one else ever had to experience something like this. And then apparently Walmart fires her. I would think that she's got a major case for wrongful termination and discrimination against Walmart if that's the case.
This is an awful look for Walmart if this is all true.
You wonder if there's some more to the story, but I don't know.
Where's the video? One thing I know about Walmart is that there are plenty of cameras in a Walmart, and they have cameras on the door.
Yeah, not inside the bathroom, but I'm sure in the little hallway or the area just outside of the bathrooms.
They don't want people, in case people walk in with merchandise or something. They have the whole thing on video. Where's the video?
So why was she fired from Walmart? According to Davis, she was fired in less than a week after the incident. The cause of the termination was based on the fact that she didn't inform a salaried member of the management team of the incident.
But she told the wrong kind of manager?
I don't know. She did inform her immediate supervisor, but stated that this person was not salaried. Oh, what kind of a
you know what? I mean, like, think about it. I mean, let's say she's a cashier, right? Then you have a cashier supervisor.
I know, but
that's another hourly position.
But still, this seems like a stretch. If she told her immediate supervisor that's not a salaried, management team employee, this just seems weird. The exact security risk was allegedly never clarified with her. They fired me without giving me any paperwork or having me sign anything. They didn't put it in writing. They asked for my vest, badge, and work phone, and I left. Wow, I feel bad for her.
This is awful. Has she hired a lawyer?
Well, it doesn't say. But I'll tell you what, sounds like she needs a lawyer. Sounds like she needs to get a hold of, it doesn't, she has a GoFundMe. Also, it doesn't say where this was.
I have a story off of Yahoo that says it happened in Lake City, Florida.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, because the story that I have did not have the geographic location. And now Fester found an update that apparently it's Lake City. So it's, not far up the road here.
I mean, here's her picture. There's the outside of Walmart. Let me find it again.
Wow.
It's right here. March 14th, a Walmart in Lake
City,
Florida.
All right, so Fester found a different story. So it's a Florida story. Sounds like she needs to get a hold of Billy Howard, the consumer protection lawyer. I'm sure Billy would love to do this case. Sounds like just a weird, and she looks like a sweet woman. I mean, I can't imagine that there's anything nefarious that she's covering up.
Just using the restroom that she's supposed to use.
I wonder how many tall women
are mistaken.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think we ought to ask if we have any really, really tall women listening? And have you ever been mistaken? Listen,
I know.
All right, let me, this might not be.
I don't know if I'm completely.
This might not be, how do I put this? Politically correct or.
It's just a question we're posing. It's just a question.
Let me point something out. As you know, human beings come in all shapes and sizes, right? The question is, or what I've observed over time, if you see a really tall woman, there are some very, very tall women that are very feminine. But there are some really, really tall women that are not quite as feminine. I mean, they're clearly women. There's no doubting that they're a female in most cases, but you know what I'm saying? You've got the tall, model-like, more effeminate look or feminine look versus sometimes you've got a really tall woman that is, not quite as, maybe model-esque, maybe, a little beefier. Am I digging myself a hole
you
here?
You really are.
No, I'm not digging. No, I'm not.
A little beefier. Okay.
Listen, a little more stout.
Listen, people come in all shapes and sizes.
All right. That's what I just said.
That's not what you said.
I opened up the conversation. The first thing I said was people come in all shapes and sizes.
And then you took the really long road.
All right. Listen. Let's go to phones on this. Let's go to. Are there any really, really tall women listening right now? Have you ever been mistaken, or you have not? I'm also. What's the tallest woman that's listening right now? And have you ever had an issue? Has there ever been an issue where anyone called out your gender because of your height? I don't know what kind of calls we'll get on this, but listen, we float all kinds of crap on this show. We already have K's on hold. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you'd like to weigh in on this, if you're a really tall woman, have you ever had a problem? And do you have any thoughts? I mean, I'm very, based on the fact pattern of this story, I am very, very sympathetic of 6'4" Danny Davis from, now we find out, Lake City, Florida.
Yeah.
All right, anyone want to jump in on this? Jump ball? All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If there are any really, really tall women that would like to, offer up their thoughts on this. 800-990-1047 is how you get on right now. And if you want to stay anonymous, that's fine. If you don't want to use your name, that's fine. All right, Kay is in Clearwater. Kay, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. What's your thought here?
Hi, MJ. I love your show. Just wanted to tell you, I am 68 years old. I have been 6 foot tall since I was 15.
Wow.
And I have had this problem my entire life.
Hold on. People thinking you're a guy because you're 6 feet?
Yeah, from far away. And I have a deep voice, too. So I have a chest, but I sound like a man over the phone.
No, I got to be honest. I'm listening to you right now, and Kay, you sound like a woman to me.
Oh, that's wonderful, MJ. I knew I loved you for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's constant. It's constant.
Yeah, you can put your teacup down on the top of my head.
I worried about my 2 daughters because I have 2 girls, and I thought my son is 6'7".
Oh, wow.
And my daughters both topped out at 5'9". So
Gotcha.
I'm thankful for that.
All right, listen, I'm sorry that you've gone through this, that you've been
I really
mistaken.
feel terrible for this girl
Absolutely.
at Walmart. I think they ought to nail Walmart to the wall.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Again, there are 2 sides to every story, but from what I'm seeing, it seems that Walmart has taken a turn here that's unfair. All right.
Doesn't sound good. Well, thank you for having sympathy for us tall women.
Yeah, listen, I feel bad for her. So hopefully there's some kind of resolution, like a $12 million settlement.
MJ, I'll tell
I
you.
hope so too.
Well, you know what? A $6,400,000 settlement for 6'4".
$100,000 for every
good.
inch.
All right.
Thank you, MG. Have a good day.
MJ.
MJ.
MJ. What did I say?
MG.
Listen,
Oh, no, MJ. I know you. I listen to you.
That's all right. Nice.
I have never.
Thank you, Kay.
I have never mistaken a woman for a man like this. However, I am guilty on 2 occasions
Of what?
of misidentifying a woman as being pregnant when she wasn't.
Yeah, you don't. That's.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. Oh, so when you expecting? Is it a boy or a girl? Oh, I'm not pregnant.
I'm not pregnant. That's what they both said. Twice it's happened to me.
Yeah,
And it's like, ooh.
That's the absolute worst. But also, listen, I have seen, unmistakably, biological men that were tall that were trying to play off that they were a woman, identifying as female. So I have seen that.
Sure. I've seen it too. But I've never mistakenly gone up and tried to certainly verbalize anything to anybody like this creep in Lake City, making this poor woman feel terrible. Then her ultimately being fired.
7:19 at the MJ Morning Show. Oh, man, I got a terrible story. You survive one thing, but then something really bad happens. It's just an awful chain of events.
Is this something happened to you?
No, it happened to a Chick-fil-A worker.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a Chick-fil-A worker story. Folks, man, talk about a bad freaking day. I mean, things go from bad but survivable to worse. I mean, the last thing you'd expect, like something out of a freaking cartoon. I mean, bizarre. Folks, you've got to hear this story, and I feel so bad. And that's next. Oh, also, and this is just a smattering of what's coming up because we got an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Gen Z employees are pissing off their bosses. So Generation Z, this is something that is driving their bosses nuts. And my daughter Chloe is Gen Z. I got to call her up and ask her if this is a problem. I've got 2 Gen Z stories. And then another Gen Z story coming up in the next segment that Gen Z is like not doing this anymore and restaurants are baffled. All right, hold on. All that next. MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. It is 7:27 at the MJ Morning Show. Here we go. Over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. No interruptions, no commercials. Starts right now. No one else does this. Best morning show entertainment in the market and nonstop right now for a huge chunk. All right, two things I did not get to in the last segment. Let me get these out of the way quickly. First of all, Buc-ee's, which Fester's favorite place. In fact, why spend money on a vacation? Fester just drives the family to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, we went there twice during spring break.
Did you really?
No, I'm kidding. We just went there once.
Did you see? Have any of your kids asked for like the little Buc-ee's stuffed animal?
We have a Buc-ee's stuffed
look
animal.
at it! Look at this.
My daughter has like the Buc-ee's keychain.
How do I not know this already?
They
of
each
course,
have Buc-ee's shirt.
how stupid of me! Of course, Buc-ee's, Buccees, the insane it's the theme park of gas station convenience stores.
I mean, you're talking as a complete outsider having never been.
I've never been to a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Hey, but I did pass by one on I-10 in Texas one time. Their power bills. I passed by at like 11 o'clock at night, and the thing was lit up like it was the Trinity nuclear test. All right?
Yeah.
It was, I mean, the power bills there must be ginormous. Anyway, speaking of ginormous.
So sometime this year, the one in Ocala will open.
Yeah, right up near Wildwood area? Or
Yeah, I think like where like the Turnpike meets.
somewhere in that vicinity?
I think so.
So you guys have a Buc-ee's stuffed animal.
Yes.
The Buc-ee the Beaver. They are selling a $6,000 one that's like over 5 feet tall.
Wow.
Come on, that seems pretty expensive. $6,000?
That really does.
The ultimate Buc-ee's experience, a colossal 60-inch tall stuffed beaver. How could this possibly be? How could this possibly be $6,000?
Yeah, maybe $150, maybe $200. I mean, a couple of hundred, but 6,000.
Come on, how do you get the $6,000 for a?
Is it filled with gold or something?
I don't know what the hell it's filled with. All I know is that that's a big beaver.
Nice beaver.
Yeah, I mean, so.
Look, okay, hold on. This is a really well done beaver. This beaver can
Yeah.
stand up all by itself.
Let me hold this. I'm going to hold this up to MJ TV right now on YouTube, so you can see all the. To give you a scale, the normal size is looks like a bed of a pickup truck or something, and the normal size Buc-ee the Beavers are all over And then you get the giant. How could that possibly be $6,000? That doesn't make any sense.
Nice beaver.
Is this the website you found it off of?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so get this.
Something called Tex. Oh, is this?
This isn't Bucky's.
Oh, it's an aftermarket.
So I heard a story.
Oh, someone's making an aftermarket giant beaver.
I heard
Nice beaver.
an online video of a guy who started a business because Bucky's has no online merch presence.
Oh, so he
would go there and buy everything.
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah.
upsell it.
Yeah, that's right. So like a lot of the things that are exclusive to Bucky's, he would buy oodles and then resell it online.
Yeah.
I did hear about that.
So-
All right, so moving along, I mentioned one other thing I teased about a water brand that I like, and hopefully this doesn't jack up the price of the water. Have you seen this this fitness influencer online? And even Saturday Night Live did a spoof on this. And I saw this pop up, some time ago in my feed, a fitness influencer with this bizarre morning routine. It's gone viral now. The video is posted by Ashton Hall, and he shows this 5.5-hour morning routine. Day 191 of the morning routine that changed my life, 3:50 a.m. to 9:30. He lives late at night. If you're dealing with weak mind, bad decisions, lack of productivity, go to sleep early, 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. No one's... What? Anyway, this guy has featured Saratoga water, and he's like dipping his face in a Saratoga water ice bath. And Saratoga water got their start in Saratoga Springs, New York. And I don't know if they pump any water out of Saratoga Springs anymore because, the stuff I have, like the source is somewhere in Pennsylvania. Like Zephyr Hills. Remember, Zephyr Hills water used to come from Pennsylvania. Now, try to find, what'd I say?
Zephyr Hills used to come from Zephyr Hills.
Yeah, exactly. So Zephyr Hills, what the hell am I saying? Zephyr Hills water used to come from Zephyr Hills, Florida. Now, you get a bottle of Zephyr Hills water, you find me a label where it says that the source is actually from Zephyr Hills. It's from springs all over the state of Florida. And then with Pennsylvania, like Saratoga, I think the current cases of sparkling Saratoga water that I have at my house, I think the source is Pennsylvania on that water. But so this guy's got the cobalt blue bottle of Saratoga water, and he's dipping his face. He's using like a $2 bottle of water just to dip his face in instead of using, a quarter cent of water from the faucet in his house. Anyway, so now apparently Saratoga water sales, they do still and sparkling, have gone through the roof. Yeah, I buy cases of the 28-ounce bottle of Saratoga sparkling water, when it's on sale like at Restaurant Depot or something. I got to find out when the next sale is at Restaurant Depot.
But you're worried about all these influencers snatching these things up?
Yeah, well, I'm worried about it like making the Saratoga water hard to find, and maybe Saratoga. I mean, it's owned by like Triton Brands. It's a big conglomerate, and their sales are going to go through the roof because of this influencer's video that has millions and millions and millions of followers now, and people are going to try to. It might make Saratoga water hard to find. I've been buying it for years and years and years.
You're a testament to why not to get Saratoga.
Anyway, all right, moving along. 7:33 at the MJ Morning Show. Let me give you my teased items. I usually do the teased items right off the bat, which is best practices in radio, but I had the two items that I teased that I didn't get to earlier. All right, we got this Chick-fil-A story. It's just, oh, my God. It's not a Chick-fil-A story per se. It's a woman who happened to work at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Man, this is, oh, God. I mean, this is like, you're having a bad day, and then how the hell could it possibly get worse? Well, let me tell you. I mean, just count your blessings. I mean, this is like something out of a Roadrunner cartoon. This is nuts.
Does it involve her getting run over by a coyote?
Hang on. It does not involve Acme rocket skates.
Okay.
67-year-old woman who happened to work at Chick-fil-A was in a car crash up in the Atlanta area, up in Georgia.
Oh, no.
She survives the car crash, gets out of the car, and falls down an immensely deep well and dies. What the folks, I'm sorry if you were looking for some kind of happy end, but no. I mean, it just shows you the twists and turns that life can hurl at you. This is nuts. Surely,
are there just wells everywhere?
I don't know.
When was the last time you've seen a well?
Listen, little Timmy fell in the well, and Lassie alerted everybody.
That's about it.
Baby Jessica fell down the well.
Oh, remember that?
Yeah. No, I don't remember that.
That was rhetorical.
Just had a brain spasm. I just spouted out just random crap. Of course, I remember Baby Jessica in the well.
Poor old lady, 67 years old.
Shirley Obert vanished after crashing her car in Monroe County, not far from Atlanta, on Saturday morning, according to the local sheriff's office. Authorities quickly blasted out alerts, urging those in the area to be on the lookout. Big old bolo for her, noting that Obert was wearing her red Chick-fil-A uniform at the time, had been involved in the wreck. 24 hours later, authorities gave a horrific, awful, terrible update. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office has located Miss Shirley Obert. It is not the outcome we were hoping for. She was found deceased at the bottom of a well that was surrounded by very thick brush near where her car was found. What the heck? She runs off the road, hits a tree, survives, and then she gets out of the car, and there's some deep freaking hole in the ground, a well?
I'm looking at a picture
An
of this well.
abandoned well that was covered with brush? I mean, it's like some kind of, like a prank. I mean, what is this?
It's like a primitive trap, MJ. Is this even an active well?
It's like some kind of Final Destination creepy crap.
This thing could have been dug out in Georgia 150 years ago. I mean,
yeah, by the Confederate Army.
Yeah,
you know,
that's where they got the water.
This is nuts.
This is awful.
She was found deceased at the bottom of a deep well that was surrounded by very thick brush.
All right, when you said she got into an accident, I was assuming it was like on a busy interstate.
No, it's sort of it's like a back 2-lane country road, but
Yeah.
it's got a double yellow line, but it's one of those back kind of country roads.
Where you'd expect to find a well.
Yeah, country road, take me home to a well.
Well,
holy crap. The deep well was hidden. Miss Obert appeared to have been trying to go for help when the accident occurred. Tragic accident. Why the hell is there a well that is, it doesn't say how deep the well is, but man, this has got to be a pretty freaking deep well for her to fall down and not survive.
I mean, obviously nobody knew this well was here. Maybe some obscure city planner knew that it existed, but it's been covered up for a while.
Unfreaking believable. Ted Canarazzi, any thoughts on this?
Well,
yes.
Well.
Unbelievable story. All right, moving on to Gen Z. I got 2 Gen Zs. Maybe I'll do these back to back.
Well, if you have to.
Gen Z employees are never at their desk, and it's driving management and their supervisors insane.
I mean, are they getting their work done? What are they doing?
Millennial PR boss Grace Garrick, 30, has hired a whole troop of Gen Zers at her agency, Movement, MVMNT. Ooh, that's all clever. And she's apparently, kind of tuned into the whole Gen Z psyche, the culture. And one of the things, apparently they need a whole lot of mini breaks. So,
like micro breaking?
Yeah, micro breaks, mini breaks, whatever the hell. All day long, they need mini breaks. Is that like the attention deficit generation deal going on or whatever? So she notices that they're never at their desk. Well, does that mean that productivity sucks?
Where the hell are they?
They're wandering. They're doing all kinds of stuff. But apparently this is an issue where Gen Z employees are never at their desks. Let me call Chloe here and just. Yeah, she should be awake. Oh, they got back late last night. I picked up Michelle Michelle's not here today because she and Chloe flew in at 1 a.m. Chloe,
Yes,
where are you?
driving downtown.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to be picking up the phone if you're driving.
Well, you called.
That's a good point.
That's going to go against your Safe Driver app.
No, it won't.
Why is that?
I don't think. I don't really think it will. I think it notates that I do hands-free calling, but it really notates the biggest things I think are like harsh braking and social media use.
Yeah, we're trying to get a discount on our insurance after 6 months. You know, I made a big deal because Chloe's driving her brand new car right now. Her first car, 23 years old, is her first car ever. And the insurance, the freaking insurance is more expensive than the monthly car payment. I mean, it's insane. All right, so Chloe, are you listening to the show?
Oh, yeah, I am.
All right,
Yeah.
are you a Gen Z office wanderer at the state attorney's office? Are you never at your desk? Be careful, we're on the air here. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little tired.
yeah, I know.
I don't think so. I try to get all my work done, and I hope my colleagues would think so too.
But
Look, if I have a free second, I'll go say hi to a friend or something. But it's not like I'm never at my desk.
Well, what about the story that a boss is saying that Gen Z employees are never at their desk?
I don't know.
Agree or disagree?
Disagree. I
Okay,
think
all
my office is maybe different. I don't know.
I mean,
I think
compared
we
to
actually have,
what?
like work to do.
Compared to like the old lady who never leaves her desk?
And she's kind of like cobwebbed in
Yeah.
there.
The old lady was
Yeah.
like
Lots of cobwebs.
empty cans of coffee under there to relieve herself. I mean, she never gets up from her desk.
Listen, I'm just checking in. All right. And then I'm going to call you. Are you close to parking? Are you parked now?
I'm parking right now.
All right, get parked, and I'm going to call you back in a second before you start work because I got another Gen Z story that I really need you to weigh in on.
Do it right now?
What?
Yeah, you do it right now. We're here.
Well, I teased it for 7:45. I guess I'll.
7:42.
All right.
Come on.
And by the way, Chloe and Michelle are exhausted because I was supposed to pick Chloe's on the tour, and I told the whole story yesterday that Chloe and Michelle, I'm not going to give total specifics, but listen, Chloe's, touring around, with, law school coming up and, multiple applications. So they fly to Chicago and they need a connecting flight out of Chicago to get to another place. And their connecting flight on Sunday night was canceled. So then they try to rent a car, and then none of the car agencies would do one-way rentals because so many flights were canceled out of O'Hare. And, if you got all these cars out of Chicago that are not being returned, then they got a big problem. So they stopped the one-way rentals. So remember I told the story yesterday that Michelle and Chloe ended up getting an Uber for $190 to drive them like 2.5 hours to their destination where they were headed. Which was about the same as the one-way rental if they could get one. So, it worked out. So, anyway, this last leg has been tough. So, the flight being canceled into their final destination out of Chicago, and then coming back from Chicago area, they fly to Atlanta. Their flight from Atlanta to Tampa was delayed 2.5 hours. They were supposed to be in at 10 p.m. last night. And I ended up picking them up at the airport at Blue Arrivals, door 125 at freaking 1 a.m. 1 o'clock in the morning.
What time did you get to bed, MJ?
1:30.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And here I am doing this show. All right. So, Chloe, it's 7:44. My second generation Z story. And I might grab calls on this. If you want to weigh in on this, if you're in the restaurant business, if you're a manager, if you're a server, if you're an owner, or if you are Gen Z, like my daughter Chloe on the phone. Chloe, have you heard about this, that Gen Z? And I'm pretty sure that you are not one of these subscribers because you don't do this. But apparently, you know what? Let me play. Here's what I want to do. I want to play a little bit of a news report. And this is from Fox 5 up in New York City. New York City? So this is Fox 5, New York City, and it has to do with something that Gen Z is ditching, and it has to do with restaurants. Fester, can you guess, before I start the report, can you guess what this is?
What, napkins?
No. Chloe, before I play the report,
Straws?
can you guess what Gen Z is ditching at restaurants? Chloe?
Oh, sorry. Dipping in restaurants.
What are you doing?
Tipping?
What?
I'm trying to get into my office.
Did you say tipping?
Yeah?
Nope, it's not tipping. All right,
Is it like appetizers?
Nope. Hang on a minute. Listen to the report.
Wednesday was ladies' night for this group of friends at Aurora Restaurant in Ride, but once the check arrived, well, don't look for any to-go bag at this table.
I do not take leftovers home, ever, because I won't eat them the next day, because it's not as good.
The leftovers don't give the same flavor.
Maybe it's because you won't eat the rest of the steak, or there's a bit of shame still associated with taking the rest of your $40 dinner for tomorrow's lunch. But this sudden new trend appears to be growing.
Listen.
General Manager Pedro Celestino says he sees more food going to waste now than he ever has before.
Some other folks, they just don't want to take anything home. They just go to waste.
According to 2023 data from ReFed, a nonprofit that helps reduce food waste, the average American leaves behind 53 pounds of food on their plate at restaurants every year.
Say what?
In dollars?
I'm going to tell you right now, I do not leave 53 pounds of food behind it on my plate at restaurants during a course of a year. I'm telling you right now.
It's about $329.
It's a huge waste, especially at a time.
Anyway, so this is this 2-minute report. Chloe, apparently Generation Z, your generation, you're 23, 24 in August, your generation is not taking home doggy bags. They're not taking the leftovers home, which I'm pretty sure that you almost always do.
It's funny because I cannot remember where I was. Literally just in the past week, I was somewhere eating out with friends, and it came time to get the check and everything in boxes, and my friends said no to boxes because they were like, we're not even going to eat the leftovers, like it's not even worth it. And then
were these friends, were they Gen Z friends?
I think so, yeah. I just can't remember. I'm so tired right now.
You're going to be productive today. All right, so were you the only Gen Zer that took takeaways home?
Yeah.
Or leftovers home?
Yeah, because you know what I said, and I remember verbally saying this, I just always feel bad for leaving the food on the plate, so I'd rather get a to-go box and, bring it home so that it looks like I'm going to take it instead of, making it look like I didn't like the food or something.
All right, listen, are there any Gen Z folks? Oh, so you're doing sympathy play that you'll take it home because you don't want to make them feel bad that maybe you didn't like their food?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to stop, Chloe. You got to stop thinking about what everyone thinks about you and what you.
I gotta go. Okay, I'm here at work now.
All right, goodbye.
All right, you're just gonna wander around all day.
Yeah,
It's not like
goodbye.
you're gonna sit at your desk.
Not sit at your desk all day long as a gent. Hello.
Yeah, enjoy your
Hello?
lunch. It's not leftovers.
Hello. Oh, she's gone.
Crummy attitude on that kid.
She's
You need a checkup from the neck up.
Didn't get to bed till after 1. Yeah. See, I can operate on 3.5, 4 hours of sleep, but she can't. All right. I'll take a call or two. Let me just see. Are you a Gen Z? Are you leaving the leftovers? Are you not taking doggy bags? Has this become an issue here like in the Tampa Bay area? So according to restaurant folks, at least up north, the Gen Z crowd, if they don't finish their food, they're not taking a doggy bag. They're not taking the leftovers to go.
Nope, just take it. No, I'm not bringing it home.
All right, so any restaurant servers, any workers, any owners, managers, or if you're Gen Z and you leave your leftovers, or if you take your leftovers in a doggy bag, let me grab a couple of calls on this. I find this fascinating. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. All right, fire up the phones quickly. I'm only going to take a handful of calls, just a few calls on this because we got a lot to do.
So you're a doggy bag guy.
Yeah, I'm not leave. If I order a steak, I'm not leaving 25, 30% of the steak if I don't finish the thing. I'll reheat it. If I have food on, unless the food sucks, well, even then I'll bring it home for the dogs. Even if it's a true doggy bag.
I have dogs.
You know, all right, phones are ringing. Andrew, screen quickly because I've got a lot to do here. But let's see what kind of smattering of calls we get. 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Let's start with Rebecca in Clearwater. Rebecca, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Good morning, MJ.
Yes.
So I just heard Chloe say more, and then you mentioned more like a sympathy take home. That's kind of what I do. Just if I don't eat all my food, I normally don't eat it the next day, but I'll take it home just to make it seem like, I like the food or, I didn't,
Oh, again, you're worried about, you don't want to hurt their feelings and make them believe, you didn't like it, so you're going to take it home even if you're going to chuck it.
Yeah, I normally don't eat it. I normally don't eat leftovers.
The server doesn't
but
care.
I'll still take it.
Rebecca, the person who brings you the food, they don't care if you like it or not.
I know, but I just feel bad. If I really don't like it and I want to eat it there, I'll tell them I don't like it. But if I eat a little bit of it and I didn't really care for it, I'll still take it home.
All
I
right.
end up throwing it away the next day.
Thanks, Rebecca. See, I just...
You're welcome.
I just don't care. Listen, I don't go out of my way to piss people off or hurt people's feelings, but, there are some things where you just got to just think about yourself and not worry about what others think of you. Deborah. All right, let me grab Deborah St. Pete. Hey, Deb, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. I love your show. I am one of the people that will take it home and take it proudly in a bag because I'm not rich. I don't make a lot of money, so I want that left over for the next day. And on top of it, my dog likes treats as well. So
Yeah.
I'm right there taking the bag.
All right. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. Let me grab one more call on this. What do you have? Let me grab one, and I got to move on. I've got another food-related story. Oh, and also, I want to bring up my fuming from this morning. Yeah, if you missed the opening of the show at 6 a.m., I was fuming this morning. Absolutely fuming. Why was I fuming? All right, Mason, last call on this. Mason, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome, Mason.
Hey, I wanted to weigh in on the leftovers. I'm Gen Z. I was born 2000, and I 100% take my leftovers, unless it's like, some, crust of a sandwich or some sad little scrap.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll 100% take it.
So, Mason, you said you were born in 2000?
Yeah.
All right, so you're 25 or 24 and change.
Yeah, 24 and change.
All right. So it definitely is not the Mason we know.
Mason Dixon, Q105.
It's a different Mason.
Maybe.
All right. What about other Gen Z friends? Do you agree with this trend that we were just talking about?
I think it's kind of here and there. A lot of my friends take leftovers. Maybe that's just, my group of friends, and we all grew up kind of in a similar way. But I don't know. I don't think it's all of us.
All right, that sounds good to me. Listen, don't waste the food. If it's edible, bring it home and finish it. Thanks, Mason. I appreciate it. But the restaurateurs, the manager, the restaurants are starting to notice this. And obviously, they have all the customers coming in. They see all the different demographics, and they're noticing the Gen Z. They're not taking the leftovers to go. They're just abandoning them.
At the end of the meal, the server comes up. Are we going to need boxes?
They don't sound like that.
It's like, are we going to need boxes? And it's not like they ask, are you going to need boxes? They include themselves like, are we going to need some boxes?
Hey, let's stick on food for a minute here.
Let's.
This is very ironic. This is very, 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 and then I'll get to fuming after my food items here. So, and I've got some recognition to deal out as well. So, this is just so ironic that I have a story, and this is a very Florida story. A Florida woman, 40 years of age, by the name of Nikki Quarterman, has been charged with felony battery for attacking her male acquaintance over the head with a deadly weapon. Do you know what the deadly weapon was?
Oh, no. Okay, so it's ironic, and her name is Quarterman. What is it, like a bag of dimes?
No. Let me put it this way. She conked the guy over the head. Come on, I've given you everything you need to know.
Nikki Quarterman
conked a guy over the head.
With a shell? With a shell?
Yes, a conch shell.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't that far off. I mean, with the, you said ironic. Her name is Quarterman.
No, nothing to do with her name.
Okay.
So it's ironic because it's something that I just did.
Conk.
Yes, hold on a minute. So charged with felony battery for smashing her guy friend over the head with a conch shell. I wonder if she put it up to her ear to hear the ocean first.
Hold on, I'm listening.
Hey, remember that when you were a kid, you put the conch shell up to your, oh, look, you can hear the ocean.
I held every one of them to my ears.
The hell, what's that all about? Anyway, the victim was 63 years old. She looks a lot younger. She looks like, she's 40, by the way. But so smacked a guy over the head, 60. They've had an on and off relationship. And guess where this Florida woman is from?
Where?
Right here, St. Petersburg.
Oh, okay.
Yep. After the argument, Quarterman took her clothes off and started to break everything in the victim's home. So they had an argument. She rips off her clothes, starts smashing stuff. After the man got Quarterman to go outside, she allegedly grabbed a 10 to 12-inch dried conch shell, swung at him multiple times, then threw the conch shell at the victim, who suffered a laceration to his hand when he tried to block the incoming shell. She then locked herself in the victim's garage, was taken into custody by St. Pete police after a brief struggle. Was arrested, cuffed, stuffed, posted $15,000 bond to get released yesterday from the Pinellas County Jail.
Did they collect the conch for evidence?
Oh, yeah. That's been bagged. Yeah. Quarterman's rap sheet includes multiple convictions for disorderly intoxication, marijuana possession, convictions for battery, DUI, assault on a law enforcement officer, driving with a suspended or revoked license. Man, she sounds like a treat. She was arrested 6 months ago for causing a public disturbance following a verbal dispute with her on and off again guy here.
Jeez, I tell her to get away from my conch.
Yeah. After that altercation, she exited the guy's house topless and began banging on the front doors of nearby homes, screaming profanity. What the hell is wrong with this woman? Clonking the guy with a conch shell. Here's what's ironic. You ready?
Yeah.
I made unbelievable kick-butt conch stew on Sunday night. I love conch stew. Man, I'm a conch fan. I love conch.
You can't eat enough conch.
I can't eat enough conch.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put enough conch in your face.
I'm a conch stuffer. I love conch. So I've got this fan of the show, Carol. Carol works at the fish department at Publix near me.
Oh.
And she orders conch for me, so they can order it.
Conch Carol?
And yeah, so Carol says when she orders the conch and puts it out, the conch sells. Yeah. So whenever I want conch, she'll order the 5-pound frozen box of conch, and it's good stuff.
I mean, people.
It's a high quality conch, and it comes from like Honduras, and I get like 2 pounds of the stuff, and I kind of modified a conch recipe that I've had for a while, and I make conch stew. I take the conch, I rip off all the hard, the brown stuff. You got to shell it, so you got to strip the conch so it's only white meat.
Oh, that
and
sweet meat.
Then I pound my conch.
Yes, you got to beat the conch.
So I beat my conch, and I use Michelle got me this meat hammer from like Germany, and it's seriously, I've got this great meat pounder. All right, and I pound my conch, and you flatten it out and you make it tender, cut it into bite-sized pieces, and then I use a couple of cans of San Marzano tomatoes, a whole bunch of onions and garlic. I add shredded cabbage. I add green and red peppers, bell peppers.
Oh, man.
I add carrots, chopped mushrooms. And I'm telling you right now, my conch stew is fantastic. And I just made a whole batch of it on Sunday night after I flew in from up north. And now we got a story of this lady here in St. Pete throwing conch shell. So I just thought it was very, very coincidental.
You have any leftover conch?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So I've got excess conch.
Yeah.
I've got too much conch.
I've heard that about you
yeah,
from Carol.
yeah,
She says how much you buy.
Yeah, I froze it though, so I had a portion, and now I've got a couple of quarts of conch that's frozen, so I can just defrost it, and it defrosts perfectly.
Have you ever found a conch shell like this, like a really big, impressive one?
Oh yeah, well, look, when I'm scuba diving, I see them all the time.
So
special, not I saw like one out in. But you don't see them in the Pacific as much, or like in Indonesia. I'm a scuba diver, and you don't see the conch like in Raja Ampat or in other places.
They're in the Gulf.
Yeah, but here in the Gulf and in the Atlantic and down in the Caribbean, like when I scuba dive Little Cayman, the conchs are all over the place. What's cool is you see the conch trails in the sand, like 30, 40 feet under. You see the conchs. They move like an inch every day. They're just kind of drag-assing. So, all right. So, speaking of food, two other things here. I wanted to do this. So, they had the Cuban Sandwich Festival. Did you know about this?
Yeah, it was on Sunday.
Yeah.
I've gone in years past.
I know, and I
missed it this year.
was out of town. I wanted to go because, man, nothing like a great Cuban sandwich, and I missed it.
It's down there, like Centennial Ybor, by kind of that courtyard, a block off of 7th.
Yep.
I've gone like 3 or 4 years, but I missed it this year.
Yeah, and it turns out that the Station House Barbecue won the world's best popular Cuban sandwich at the International Cuban Sandwich Festival that was just over the weekend in Ybor.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what? I have not, Andrew, turn your mic on. I've not been to the Station House Barbecue. Where are they located, Andrew?
Well, they used to be located on Florida, a little north of Bierce.
They had a storefront, and they just closed like 3 months ago.
Why the hell did they close?
I think they're are they a food truck now?
Well, they're opening a new location up on, I believe, 54. I don't remember the cross street.
Up in like Wesley Chapel?
I think they do catering and stuff like that now, but they had a storefront, and I went there once or twice, and I think it was owned by a Hillsborough County
firefighter,
former
firefighter.
I don't know the whole situation, but
Yeah,
they had a lot of gear.
But
in there.
listen, that's pretty significant to win the best Cuban sandwich. Station House Barbecue. They wanted to sell 480 Cuban sandwiches during the festival. Their winning Smokin' Cuban features smoked pork, sweet ham, hard salami, Swiss cheese sauce, Mojo mayo mustard, sweet relish, their signature sweet guava barbecue sauce, pressed to perfection. Oh, you got to press it. When you go get a Cuban and they say, "Do you want that pressed?"
Yes.
What do you want? Of course I want it pressed. Of course I want my Cuban pressed.
I don't want any other sub.
I pound my conch and I want my Cubans pressed, okay?
Damn it, I like it.
So I gotta try a Station House Barbecue Cuban sandwich. I mean, if they're winning over all of the other great freaking Cuban sandwiches in the Tampa Bay area, they must have a heck of a Cuban. All right, so congratulations.
Very cool.
A couple of local items that I want to get to here. Additional local items. Did you see that Foot Locker is going to move their global headquarters right up the block at Carillon?
I saw a couple of years ago when the deal was signed that they were going to bring all the jobs to
Remember
this
that?
Tampa Bay area.
But now it's, I was refreshed. I was reminded of that we had heard about this a long time ago. And I think we talked about it a couple of years ago. And I guess it's finally coming to fruition.
That's cool.
Announced that Foot Locker, the big home office, Foot Locker, is taking 111,000 square feet long-term office place at 570 Carillon Parkway, here in St. Petersburg. So does it say when they're going to be moving in?
I think they're currently headquartered in like New York.
I don't know where the hell they're currently headquartered, but they're moving down here. And you know what's going to be very evident? You're going to start seeing people all over the place,
all
like in restaurants. You're going to see all the top executives all around town.
Yeah.
And they all wear those referee shirts.
They have to. It's uniform.
Exactly. They're, the president, the CEO, the vice presidents, all the managers, the department heads.
Forget that.
They all wear those referee shirts. So, if you start seeing a whole lot of referee shirts on Ulmerton over in Feather Sound area.
Yeah.
And Carillon area.
You know where they work.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna see referee shirts everywhere.
It's not just the
You're
managers.
gonna have referee shirts out the wazoo.
Jill in accounting, she's gonna be wearing
referee
a
shirt.
referee shirt.
Yep.
The receptionist.
Yep, referee shirt.
That's right. It's everybody.
Yep, everyone. Did Foot Locker wear? Did Athlete's Foot also wear the referee shirt? Did they all wear the referee? Do I have the right company? Foot Locker wears the ref shirts, right?
I don't know.
I think so. Is
you
Athlete's Foot still around?
Can I tell you the last time I've been to a Foot Locker?
Been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a mall shoe shopper that much.
All right. Well, I am. I'm a New Balance
Yeah,
guy.
but it's a specific store. It's a branded store.
I just put on a brand new pair of 990 version 6s right now. I gotta replenish my stock of 990s at the house. I walk 30 miles a week. I love this shoe. All right. So welcome Foot Locker, and you know what? Management needs to drop by and bring us a Foot Locker ref shirt. I'll take a large or XL depending on how they fit. Fester's going to need a 7X.
Yes. I need a shirt like those fat umpires behind home plate.
Do you think it's a deterrent if they have a really, really obese fat person trying to sell athletic shoes?
Welcome to Foot Locker.
Get in my belly.
I went back to get your size 11, but I got tired.
I took a nap. Had a snack and took a nap. Sorry, it took me an hour and a half to get your shoes out here.
So I did a Google image search for Foot Locker employees, and yes, you're correct.
Right. They wear the ref shirts.
Yes,
all right. But I think that Athlete's Foot also, do they wear them as well? Or anyway.
Athlete's Foot just looked like a fungus.
So another localish item here. Oh man, this is a lesson for the children's at school. You see the principal arrested out in Polk County for skip scanning at Walmart? Really? A school principal? Hey, kids, here's our lesson of the day. Don't try to rip off Walmart at the self-checkout area and end up getting arrested and ending up with your mugshot all over the news and the MJ Morning Show talking about it.
Walmart's the wrong place to do that.
Oh, man, a Polk County principal who obviously was not very principled, was he? Well, different. You got the
different spelling.
You got the principal, which is your principal's your pal. Well, in some cases, and in this case, not very principled. The PLE, according to
how much did they steal?
Listen to this. According to the acting superintendent out in Polk County, Ricky Smith. Gregory Lewis, who is the principal at Bach Academy North.
Hold on. Did you say the superintendent of Polk County Schools is Ulricky?
Ulricky Smith.
That's the coolest name ever.
Alricky.
Ulricky. I love that
name. Yeah, the acting or interim superintendent.
I've never heard that name.
Yeah, apparently revealed that Gregory Lewis, who's a principal at Bach Academy North, is now on administrative leave. While this Lake Wales charter school looks into the situation, at this time I'm unable to provide any comments on the next steps as this matter is ongoing, according to Ricky Smith. Ricky, then.
I mean, come on. It's a pretty unique name.
Ricky.
All right, Ricky.
So... apparently, the Winter Haven Police Department said that officers were summoned to the Walmart. Oh, that busy Cypress Gardens Boulevard Walmart. Lots of stuff happens in that one. Oh, yeah. They were called in Saturday for retail theft. The Walmart asset protection agent told the Winter Haven cops that showed up that the principal, Mr. Lewis, Gregory Lewis, was skip scanning. And he was apparently placing disposable foam plates between the higher value items.
So he was scanning the plates, but not
So he's putting through the higher value item, but then scanning the cheaper foam plate, whatever the hell it was, according to the arrest report. And Lewis told officers that he had friends that told him that they had stolen from stores using this exact same scheme, the skip scanning scheme, and that he should try it. Oh, great.
Yeah.
So we've got a school principal friends skip scan. Oh, you ought to try it and rip off retailers. Oh, okay. I think I'll go try it myself. Well, children, this brings me to my next point. Don't skip scan at Walmart.
You know, his buddies might have gotten away with it, but then loss prevention kind of catches on, and they knew what they were looking for.
Unfreaking believable. This, I think, is going to have a detrimental effect on his principal career at this box school out in Polk County. Yeah, Lewis said he had previously done it at the same store, so he had done it prior. That is horrific.
He doesn't know to shut his mouth when he gets arrested.
And this guy's just blabbing. Listen to this from the police report.
Okay, I don't support skip scanners. However, shut up.
All right, listen to this. So he confessed to doing it at the same store prior. Then in the police report, it says, we sit around talking. Hey, I did this. I did that. Let me try and see what I can get away with. So this is, he's telling the Winter Haven cops this, which is fully recorded on their body cams. He said, I did something dumb today, and I understand it. Well, apparently you did something dumb prior. Hey, dude. Hey, Principal Lewis, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Thanks for doing all of their work, Principal.
Yeah, so he stole a large pack of light bulbs. He ripped off frozen butterfly shrimp. The items that he ripped Walmart off for on Cypress Gardens in Winter Haven totaled $37.45. Is that worth putting your whole principal job, which I'm sure is over $100,000 a year job, is that worth putting your entire job? Well, it's Polk County, maybe not. I don't know. Listen, I would guess close to that as a school principal.
As a school principal, sure.
Yeah. Wow. This is terrible. So if you don't see Principal Gregory Lewis walking around the Bach Academy North, that's because he be skip scanning.
Yeah, he's off for a couple of days.
Yeah, I'd say.
All Ricky will tell him when to come back.
Yeah. And he's not commenting. He's not talking to local media. Yeah, he became the principal at Bach Tower North in August of 2024. He's not even a year on the job. He's like 8 months in on this thing. And here he is ripping off a Walmart and caught. That sucks. And listen, it's because of this that we've heard that Walmart and other places, they're going to start, you've heard about rolling back high prices. We're rolling back self-checkout. Because these stores are realizing that they thought they were going to save money by having the customer do the labor, but they're getting ripped off so much, it's cheaper for them to pay employees to actually scan the items at a real man checkout lane.
Listen, I hate the self-checkout. I mean, I understood the lines, and they were like, oh, the self-checkout, you get through faster. Now it's not the case. You're waiting just as long. I don't like the self-checkout at all.
Yeah. And then also they have a person monitoring, which they can say, all right, we've got 8 self-checkouts and we only have one person monitoring. So that is a net savings of 7 employees. Yeah, all right. So there you go. Oh, look at this. Allison is the owner of Station House Barbecue. Man, I tell you, I've got so many.
I've got places to check out.
I've got so many. We've got to get to Beef and Sea, for the fried whole belly clams.
Let me know.
I've got to get to Ray's Fish Camp.
Yep.
They were just named as something.
So Michelin has a new guide. I'll pull that up.
Yeah, Ray's Fish Camp. And now we just mentioned Station House Barbecue and them winning this top Cuban sandwich award at the Cuban Festival in Ybor over the weekend. Now they're calling in. Hey, Allison, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Oh, I'm great, and it's got to be great for you. You guys winning this Best Cuban at the festival on Sunday.
Yes, we are super excited.
Man, I live for good Cubans. I mean, I've had, pretty much all the good Cubans in town, and I haven't been to your place. So what's the story? You had a storefront, and now what's going on with your operation?
We moved.
Okay, so you are open in a different spot.
Yes, but just selling Tampa Bay's best barbecue. But I still do Cubans for catering. So they're available. If you tell me the day in advance, I can make them for you the next day.
So wait a second.
Hold on.
Let me help you out here. You guys just won the Best Cuban. You need to have the Cuban on the menu as a full-time item.
Every day.
You got to talk to my hubby about that. We have 2 locations. We're inside of Mosey now too, and the planetarium just opened.
Oh, the new, the multi-million
we got
dollar
a lot
new
going on this week.
Yeah, that Mosey was like that was empty for a while. Didn't they shut it down?
It was.
Yeah, they redid it.
Yeah.
It's so rocking now, and they've got a 10,000 square foot dome.
Yeah, the Mosey screen seems incredible. Allison, I went to your restaurant when it was located on Florida. But
Aw, thank you.
Where did you move to?
We're at 5214 North Nebraska Avenue. So we're on the corner of Nebraska and Hillsboro, a block south of Hillsboro, right there.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah, I know that.
Right, so I don't know who said 54 or something. It's not a.
Oh,
right.
we're going to move out there. We're building out there. That's
okay,
done by
okay.
the end of this year.
All right, so you can have another location.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Starkey Ranch.
All right, Allison, you
Yes.
got to tell your husband, if you guys just won the bet, you've got a town with amazing Cubans. You've got the Floridian on Kennedy. You've got the La Segunda. You've got the Columbia. If you guys, and many other places, all right, that make a good La Teresina. I mean, you got the Argos. What's the rainbow? The
Arcoides.
Yeah.
We grew up in Tampa. We know all about them.
Yeah,
That's
so
why we do them.
This is a tough town for Cuban sandwiches.
Yeah, and for you guys to win and then not have it as a regular menu, I'm sure you got to put this as a regular menu. This is a no-brainer.
I'll definitely talk to him about it.
All right, so how impossible would it be, Allison, to bring, a couple of Cuban sandwiches to the morning show sometime this week?
Not impossible at all.
All right.
Sign me up.
Now we're talking.
All right, now
we go.
I got to try this Cuban. All right.
You're gonna have
Yes, you do.
the
It's not
ultimate.
your typical Cuban. We're in the non-traditional category.
All right, and you
We
guys
got
have
our
you have
smoked pork,
you're right. I know.
smoked
So
ham, all this stuff.
I read the whole ingredient list, so
Awesome.
it sounds fantastic. I love a traditional Cuban, but I'm sure I'm going to love your take on the Cuban. If it just won at the Cuban festival, it's got to be good.
Yes.
All right. So, all right. Now, you guys have a food truck, right?
Nope, we just have the restaurant on Nebraska.
Okay,
we
I
are
thought-
inside of Mosey vending every day with barbecue
okay.
there.
Fester, you and Andrew are
Okay,
full of wrong information.
Hold on, we were semi-right. Don't you have like an enormous smoker that looks almost like a fire truck?
Yes, that's parked at Mosey.
Okay, that's what
Right
I
under their giant dome on Fowler, right
I-
across from USF.
I thought that was a food truck. Apologies, Allison.
Okay, still friends. We do have a food truck that is an ambulance that we converted into a food truck that was at the zoo, and hopefully it'll go back there for Halloween time. But that is not in service right now.
All right, let me ask you a question. If you guys come in and bring me Cubans, are you able to like make the Cubans but then bring the presser so it's pressed fresh here?
Ooh, good question. Good question.
I'll ask. That's awesome.
Yeah, listen, I'm a foodie, man. I'm telling you right now, Allison. Hey,
It
Allison,
was really like a miracle that we even accomplished what we did because we were down. We had 3 planchas to start, and then we were down 2, and then we only had 1 to press all 480 sandwiches.
wow.
Yeah.
Hey, wow.
That was all Jesus.
Awesome. Now, how did you hear we were just talking about you and you called in?
My friend Allison texted me that her friend texted her from the morning show and said, you need to tell your friend that owns Station House Barbecue to call into the MJ Morning Show because we talking about her.
That's great. All right, let me put you on hold. Andrew will get your number. Fess will be in touch, okay?
Rock on. Thanks,
All
guys.
right, thank you.
Thanks, Allison.
Look at that. Love it. Fantastic. All right, so I was fuming this morning.
You sure were.
And there's a video to prove it. I don't recommend this. You know, we mentioned at 6 o'clock this morning. I came in 6 o'clock. We start off the MJ Morning Show, and I'm like, I'm fuming this morning. And then I asked people to call up. Can you guess why I am fuming? And what were the early guesses?
One was about the studio not being
Oh,
done.
yeah. Well, no. Then apparently all the lines lit up on why I was fuming.
You went to phones. You asked
and then one of the first caller said, "Oh, you're fuming because the new studio is still not done." And once I said, "No, that's not it," then all these other calls, with like 5 other calls that were on hold, hung up. And the reason why I was fuming is because I drove to work on fumes, and I don't recommend this. You know, they have these cute names like the stupid trend of the people that will sit in their airplane seat on a 3-hour flight and just stare straight ahead. They won't read. They won't do any in-flight entertainment. And that's been dubbed raw dogging.
Yeah, everything needs a name these days. And NJ, I think you've kind of coined the name for driving on fumes.
Yeah, so I was fuming this morning accidentally. This was inadvertent. Listen, I'm still trying to catch up on my time zone stuff with being in the Philippines, for 2 weeks. And then, I went out with Chloe and Michelle over the weekend up north. So I'm traveling again after I thought I was going to have the whole week and weekend to still catch up. So I am running on fumes, right? And I didn't realize that the car had like no gas in it. So I get into the car. I'm getting ready to get on the Howard Franklin off of West Shore Kennedy area, and I'm like, oh geez, I've got 11 or 12 gallons of range left. I'm like, all right, that should get me pretty close to the office. I should be able to make it. And I'm not buying gas at the triangle of rip-off gas stations.
Whoa.
I'm not buying gas at that Chevron at West Shore and Kennedy because their prices are through the roof.
You could have got a Splash.
I'm not buying the BP gas in West Shore Plaza because their prices are too effing high as well. The Indian restaurant there kicks butt. So I'll eat their Indian food all day long because it's probably the best Indian food in town. At what is that? Something leaves. It's curry leaves or whatever it is. So best Indian food in town is right over there. But their gas prices are through the roof. And then the Shell station on West Shore and Cypress. Yeah, forget that one too. Right next to the Dollhouse. That's the triangle of rip-off gas stations because they're banking on all the car rental returns to the airport because those are like the closest gas stations to car rental returns. So they're all, jacking up the price for, all the car rental returns.
All right, so we have like a mobile station as soon as we pull out of our...
Yeah, anyway, so do you have my Instagram? Roll my Instagram. I got to work. I had 1 mile of range left on the vehicle. All right, listen to this. Roll the audio, refresh, and I shot a video in the car this morning of me fuming. Hey, it's MJ in the car. About a half an hour before showtime this morning, 5:30 in the morning. I'm in the parking lot, and I am fuming this morning. I'm absolutely fuming. No, I'm not angry. It's, God, I don't want to start a new trend here like raw dogging where you sit on the airplane and just stare straight ahead. Anyway, so if you want to see the video, it's on my Instagram, in my car, 5:30 this morning. Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. And you can see the display, 1 mile of range left. And then the car's talking to me. The system pops up. You're out of fuel. Would you like me to suggest some nearby gas stations? So the car starts talking to me and everything. I'm on the Howard Franklin Bridge. I'm like, yeah, nearby gas stations. What? Over here by mile marker, whatever?
Yeah.
All right, so I've got 1 mile of range left. So that should be enough to get to the probably the Wawa down the street.
Yeah, there's a couple of places.
Probably the best price for the gas is
why don't you get to the first place you can get to? Beggars can't be choosers at this point.
No, I think I can make it.
You want me to follow you?
I've got a mile of range.
You want me to follow you by in case you stall out? I could tap you.
You got a gallon of gas in your trunk. You got everything else back there.
I could siphon some out.
Just out of curiosity. No, that's all right. I think I can make it to the gas station. But if you want to see the video, I've got 1 mile left on the range. Certified MJ Radio if you want to see me fuming. Yeah, and I don't want to start a trend. People, going to work or going to some destination, and let's see if I can just get there on fumes. Can I make it to my destination? It's the fume challenge. All these stupid morons on TikTok with these challenges, and people like hurt themselves, kill themselves, break bones, break skulls, whatever. All right, 8:23 at the MJ Morning Show, and we're rolling. We're still continuing with over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Now, I say over because we guarantee an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ, starting at about 7:25, 7:26 every morning, but you always get more. There is never exact. There's never less. There's always minutes and minutes more. An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ is in progress right now. We talked about, and this is on multiple occasions, we've talked about dating and the dating apps, and there's sort of a trend, and we actually talked about this somewhat recently, but it's come up numerous times, about the dating trend where guys are deciding to meet for cheaper first dates in case things don't go well or they don't hit it off or there's not an attraction, that guys are beginning, and this is a lot of Gen Z and millennials, that they're starting to want to just meet for coffee.
Something casual.
Something cheaper.
Well, I'm just thinking about
That's the catalyst here. It's cheap.
How many times do you hear from like the female portion of the date where they say, we're at this dinner and I just can't wait to get out of there? And they're stuck with this dinner, or they have their friend call them in 45 minutes so they can fake an emergency to get out of it.
I've got a story. A woman meets a guy at Whole Foods. Then he makes the move, hey, let's meet. And then she says no, because he was trying to do just the coffee house meetup and says, no, I don't do that on first dates. All right, let me give you the story. This is a great story. Viral video. It's got hundreds of thousands of views so far. I watched this last night, and the woman's name is Meg, and she tells her story. And she explains that she went into a Whole Foods after she was working out at the gym, and she happened to meet what she called a cute, flirty man. They exchanged phone numbers in Whole Foods. Listen, you've always heard that the supermarket's the big hookup spot, you know? So he followed up with Meg, sent her a text. Hey, let's meet up for a coffee date. Meg declined.
That's a nice, non-intrusive way to kind of say, hey, let's get together.
Meg said, no, I don't want to do a coffee date. How about we do a dinner date?
Ooh.
Yeah. Listen to this. She says on the video, I don't like coffee dates. I find it cheap. I find it lazy. I find it way too easy.
Oh,
and she added that coffee is something she does with friends, not with potential lovers. I've never smashed off a coffee date, most importantly, so it's kind of a waste of both of our times. Yeah, the guy's initial response to her turning down the coffee date was aggressive. Meg said that she initially interpreted it as flirty and fun due to his demeanor. She explained to him that she prefers dinner dates, not because I can't afford it, but I think that someone can keep their polite act up during coffee or cocktails, but dinner allows more time for interaction in that environment. It makes sense to me.
Okay, Meg.
So here's another example. So are women getting more aggressive and saying, no, I'm not doing a cheap-ass coffee date. Let's do a dinner date.
Meg sounds like she's God's gift. I'm not doing coffee.
Yeah, Meg's pretty attractive. I'll look this thing up online. I'm sure you can, find it out there. Meg and her deflection. So I think they set up a dinner date. But listen, guys are doing that. With the state of the economy or whatever, there's a trend, and we've talked about it on the show, that there are guys that are trying to do cheaper, less immersive, less of a commitment for like a first date. Because, if you go out to an expensive dinner, we've had stories where guys were spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month on these dinner dates, and it's like it's a dud.
Yeah, they don't lead to anything.
I mean, so you're making this investment; it's not going anywhere. So that's why you're seeing like a cheapening to do like a cheaper, less costly first encounter to see if there's any potential. You don't want to make an investment and just have the damn thing fizzle out, and that's what they're saying, that some of these dinners are expensive. Is what it comes down to.
Is speed dating still a thing?
I don't think I've seen that. I'm sure it is.
I don't know.
Where you sit at a table in some place and you sit for like a minute, and then you try to make a connection like a minute, and then you rotate to the next. That sort of thing.
I don't know.
Is that what you're talking about? I think that's what you're talking about.
I think is what I'm talking about.
All right, I'll tell you right now that as we move on here, this is the last thing we need. So we had that horrific midair collision up in Washington D.C. Up in the tower technically in Virginia. You got Reagan National. So we know that we had that Delta Connection flight. I'm sorry, that was an American Airlines. Delta Connection's one that flipped over up in Toronto.
Canada, yeah.
So we had the American commuter. Was it like a CRJ 900 or whatever that was? So we had the American jet on approach, and it was smashed into by the helicopter.
Yes.
Killing everyone on board both aircraft. And so then we have the story yesterday that some jackass was flying a kite and hit an American flight that was landing at Reagan National, flying a kite right in the flight path, like 100 feet off the ground as the plane's landing. You heard the latest? This is the last thing we need. You've got a fight inside the tower. And you got apparently air traffic controller was arrested for assault and battery for striking another controller. Listen to this. This is the last thing we need right now. And then they also said that there was another potential near miss, that a fighter jet from Langley got too close to a Delta jet. And that just happened. That news just came out yesterday.
Are there always these near misses, and we're just now hearing about them more often?
Well, listen, that is a very touchy airspace, obviously, right around the nation's capital. And you talk to any pilot, it's a very challenging airport, and it's been like that forever. They were supposed to close Reagan National. When they built Dulles out, further out in Virginia, Dulles was supposed to replace National because of all the concerns and the security issues and the sensitive, no-fly areas around the Capitol. So they were supposed to close Reagan National. This goes back decades and decades. But when Dulles was built, you had a whole bunch of members of Congress that blocked the closing because
they didn't want to drive out that far to go home?
It was so convenient for all the Congress. Listen, you got 535 folks. You got 435 members of the House of Representatives. You have 100 senators, so 535 total, and all their staffers and everything. And, going out to visit their states, their constituents, going to their districts, and they're in and out a lot. And Reagan National is a hell of a lot more convenient than going all the way out, multiple counties over to get to Dulles in Northern Virginia. So that's why Reagan's still open. A Federal Aviation Administration employee working at Reagan National Airport outside of D.C., it's right across the Potomac in Virginia, was recently charged over a workplace altercation. Upper Marlboro, Maryland resident Damon Marsalis Gaines, 38, was charged with assault and battery. Politico reports that the suspect works in the controller operation, so like an air traffic controller.
You can see his desk right here, yeah.
Yes, Delta 5623, climb and maintain 9,000.
These guys always seem so mild-mannered and under control when I hear them on the recording.
Yeah, well, apparently there was a beatdown, smackdown up in the tower. The Metro Washington Airports Authority, it's MWAA, confirmed the developments, explaining that the incident transpired in the control tower on Thursday. You've got a challenging airspace managing all this aircraft coming in and out of Reagan National Airport. You just had this midair collision a couple of months ago, and you've got two controllers that are fighting in the tower?
I mean, you got to think that tower is a pressure cooker right now.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you got enough pressure in that tower. Absolutely. The employee's on administrative leave while we investigate the matter. It's unclear what sparked the scuffle. This is nuts. So this one controller dude apparently assaulted another controller in the tower. Damon Marsalis Gaines, 38 years old, from Maryland. That's a special moment.
Yeah.
You got a special kind of tower, a special, very difficult airspace, and you got one guy bashing the other guy, hitting him, charged with assault and battery.
Let's go to hands. Throw it up.
That's just unfreaking believable. I just want to ignore Kanye West, but did you see now he's doing interviews in a KKK outfit?
I've completely eliminated him from my life.
You're right. Kanye West says that he didn't want to have kids with Kim Kardashian, and he says this in an interview, and he's decked out in a whole KKK outfit. You know, the hood with the eye holes and everything?
I know the outfit.
What is he doing?
Okay.
A new interview with DJ Akam...
Is it DJ...
Academics? How do you say it?
Is it DJ Acapulco?
No, it's not.
Oh, I'm a big fan of DJ
No, it's not.
Acapulco.
Explained that he did not see himself becoming a father while dating his now ex-wife, Kim Kardashian.
Oh, DJ Academus.
Is that it?
Academics.
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 It's DJ Academics.
I have no idea.
It's just all spelled all
I
whack.
have no idea.
Yeah.
All right, DJ Academics. That makes a lot more sense.
That's who it is. And he does an interview. He says he didn't want to have kids with Kim Kardashian so soon into the relationship. And the dude is doing an interview in a KKK outfit. What is wrong with this guy?
He's not stable.
You see the picture of him?
Yes.
He's wearing but it's not a white KKK outfit. He's wearing a black KKK outfit. And he's got the whole pointy hood on, the whole thing. What is that? This guy's a mental freak. He's a total nut job. You know, we ought to just, you know what? We ought to just ignore him. I shouldn't even bring his crap up.
I mean, I'm glad you brought it up to fill us in, but I've eliminated him from my existence.
So Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, they have 4 kids. They have daughters North, who's 11. They've got Chicago, who's 7. Saint is 9. And Psalm, Psalm, Psalm is 5. How do you think that makes the kids feel? Yeah, I didn't want to have kids. And here you are, your offspring of... What do the kids think of wacko, mental, nut job daddy? What do they think of him? Say the kids go to school. Oh, hey, your dad's in a KKK outfit. And listen, the oldest kid at 11. Oh,
she's got to know.
Oh yeah, listen, she's gonna get this crap at school. Hey, your dad is out of his mind. He's a fruitcake. He's a nut job. And he said he didn't even want to have you. I mean, that's got to be tough for the kids.
Not a stable person.
Not at all. Unbelievable. And I got a whole bunch of celebrity stuff we got to get to here. I guess what time is it? 8:36. Yeah, let me dive into a few of these. And I'll tell you what, from the Hollywood front, do you remember a motion picture that was highly anticipated and it got shelved? Big production, big movie studio. And the movie was done, completed, and this has happened on multiple occasions. And the studio shelves the project, decides not to bring it out, not release it in theaters, not release it on DVD or streaming.
I vaguely remember us talking about something like that,
So
but I don't remember the movie.
This has happened numerous times, and one of the ones I remember was Coyote versus Acme. And it's like a Roadrunner Coyote movie with the cartoon characters, the animation with live action. And they shelved this movie, and no one ever thought it was going to come out. And the reason why some of the movie companies are shelving movies is for tax reasons, that they can take a loss on a movie. And listen, you got the writer, the director, you got all the actors, and they want their movie to come out, and then here a movie company shelves it. Well, guess what? It looks like the movie is finally going to come out. Listen to this. When Warner Brothers Discovery shelved its Coyote versus Acme film for a tax write-off, despite it being totally completed, it drew fury from fans of the cartoon Coyote's antics and other filmmakers and animators and even the film's director and actors. I remember we did the story. But the movie got a new breath of hope on yesterday, when it was announced that Ketchup Entertainment had scored a distribution deal for a reported $50 million. Coyote vs. Acme is a live-action animation hybrid Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Space Jam.
Yeah, those kind of movies.
Yep. The cast includes Will Forte, formerly of Saturday Night Live, and Kevin Avery, a struggling lawyer who agrees to represent Wile E. Coyote in a lawsuit against the Acme Corporation. This sounds hysterical.
Look at a couple of the pictures. It looks like they're in a trial.
Listen, how many times did the Coyote strap on some Acme rocket skates and it propelled him right into like some plateau or butte?
It's some kind of product liability.
Or off the cliff.
Yes.
I
mean, how many times did the parachute not open?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many times have you heard, I got to find it. How many times have you heard this sound effect?
Poor bastard.
You're going to hear that apparently in Coyote versus Acme. That's hysterical. All of the Acme products.
Every one of them's going to be on trial.
Oh, yeah, that totally screwed up the Coyote, the Wiley, Mr. Wiley Coyote.
Does Coyote have a voice?
I guess we're going to find out.
I don't know that I've ever heard him speak. The only things you hear in those cartoons are...
But what a great premise that it's a court battle that the Coyote is suing Acme. I love it. I hope this movie doesn't suck.
It might suck.
Yeah, so in the movie, they sue the Acme Corporation after its products repeatedly fail him in its attempts to capture that tricky Roadrunner. Meep, meep. So the movie had screen tested well and was highly anticipated by fans, but fell victim to Warner Brothers Discovery's post-pandemic, post-merger belt-tightening, and they took it as a $30 million tax write-off. Afterward, the film was shopped around for distribution to Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Apple. No deal ever materialized. Director Dave Green tweeted his appreciation for his brilliant team that worked for the film or on the film, poured their souls into the project for years, writing that he was beyond proud of the final product, and he was devastated. I'm sorry, he was beyond devastated. This is like Beyond Meat. He was beyond devastated.
What's beyond devastated? What word is that? I mean, horrified, that's not beyond devastated.
Yeah. Rectumfied.
I mean, it's terrible. Okay, how could they take a $30 million? I mean, MJ, this premise alone, how is this not a several $100 million movie?
It could be.
I mean,
and also knowing that it was shelved and it's been rescued and it's going to be brought to theaters, I don't see exactly when. They're hoping maybe 26.
Okay.
Deadline reported Monday that Ketchup Entertainment had confirmed a deal to obtain a worldwide rights to distribute Coyote versus Acme. Yes, I can read. We had the deal pegged in the $50 million range. The film is expected to get a theatrical release in 2026. So sometime next year. I'll tell you, I'll go support it. I will absolutely go to the theaters to go see Coyote versus Acme.
Let's wait for the reviews to come out. You're like, the reviews say it sucks. I'm not going.
Well, the story says that the screen testing, that the focus group testing, that it actually tested well with audiences. And it was headed to distribution. And then the whole damn thing got nixed. Wow. All right. On the celebrity front and, well, just the notoriety front. This is nuts. Do you remember? Well, it's the Jeffrey Epstein case. So Jeffrey Epstein, remember that Virginia Giuffre?
Yeah.
Giuffre. She is one of the Jeffrey Epstein accusers. She's the one, she was 15 years old, and she's the one pictured with Prince Andrew in that picture that he denied and said it was doctored and fake. You know, and then you've got who was the woman? Who was
Ghislaine?
Yeah,
Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell is behind in the back, and then you got Prince Andrew and this 15-year-old blonde woman. Well, listen to this. So one of the most high profile of the Prince Andrew accusers apparently was run over by a bus and says she has only days to live. How many people get run over by a bus and they do an interview and say they only have days to live? That just seems a little... Listen to this from the Post. Virginia Giuffre, the most prominent victim of Jeffrey Epstein, who accused some of the world's most powerful men of sex trafficking, says she has just days to live after being hit by a bus. The mother of three, 41, shared a battered picture of herself from a hospital bed covered in bruises. She said she was suffering from kidney failure after a bus crashed into her vehicle.
That's awful.
Well, I thought she was run over by the bus.
So she was in an accident with a bus.
Yeah. I mean, I know that people are saying, "Oh, sure, yeah, this was no accident." Yeah, this is like all of Putin's
the way all of his enemies kind of disappear.
Thank you. This is like all of Putin's enemies. They all fall off a balcony off their apartment building in Moscow, you know?
So did this happen in Australia?
It might have.
she's most recently living in Australia.
Yeah, it must have been in Australia.
How does
Because she left the country and she was living like near Perth, out in like Western Australia. So
how does she know she has 4 days till? It's very specific.
she says this year has been the worst start to a new year, but I won't bore you with the details. But I think it's important to note when a school bus driver comes at you at 60 miles per hour as we were slowing for a turn, that no matter what your car is made of, it might not end well, and it might as well be a tin can, she wrote on a social media post. I've gone into kidney failure, so renal failure. They've given me 4 days to live. What was there, a countdown clock?
It's very specific.
Yeah. I'm ready to go, just not until I see my babies one last time, but you know what they say about wishes. Huh.
What a weird text or message to
The,
write.
the whole story's weird. Yeah, and then you're going to have all the conspiratorialists saying, oh, yeah, Prince, the whole cabal, Prince Andrew, and all the other folks that are unnamed. And remember, the new release of the Jeffrey Epstein stuff turned out to be a dud. There was nothing that was released that was new.
No.
There's tons of stuff that exists that is not seeing the light of day.
Release it all.
Yeah.
Get it all out there.
I agree with that. But, you're going to have all the conspiratorialists that are going to say, yeah, sure, she was accidentally hit by a school bus at 60 miles an hour. She was taken out by the rich and powerful that don't want her talking anymore. That's going to be a thing.
She's already spoken. She can't say anything else.
Yeah.
How do you come up with 4 days?
Yeah. Then we have Elon Musk and one of the baby mamas. How many kids does he have now? 13 or 14 that we know of? Or
1,400.
I don't know.
Yes, a lot of children.
Anyway, we have this Ashley St. Clair, one of the alleged baby mamas of Elon Musk.
What's she saying?
Well, a couple of things here. She said that she's selling her Tesla because he's vindictive and slashed her child support 60%.
Okay.
Can you imagine what you could give somebody millions and millions of dollars and it doesn't even make a noticeable dent in anything you do in your net worth? I mean, that's where Elon Musk is.
Sure.
With his balance sheet. Ashley St. Clair alleges that Elon Musk fathered her son, sold her Tesla on video, and told reporters she did it because the vindictive billionaire reduced her child support.
From what to what?
So St. Clair, she was in the news last month after she said that Musk fathered her child and she gave birth last fall. She asked the world for privacy, but she continues to put herself out in the news. So she's now selling her Tesla. I guess it was a $100,000 black Model S, and this was in Manhattan. And I guess it was loaded up on a flatbed. I'm selling it because I need to make up for the 60% cut that Elon made to our son's child support.
All right.
Musk apparently has not spoken to St. Clair since February 13th. Then Musk, listen to this. Musk claims that Musk is claiming that he already paid this Ashley St. Clair $2.5 million, which essentially reach into your pocket right now and just grab some change and a wad of cash. That's essentially what $2.5 million is to Elon Musk.
He doesn't even know it's missing.
Yeah. So apparently Elon Musk is claiming that he's already shelled out $2.5 million to her. Yeah. I don't know if the child's mine or not. That's what Elon's saying.
Okay.
I don't know if. Well, then do a paternity test. Let's go.
We can figure that out pretty quickly, Elon.
Yeah, let's just take a little prick, get some blood, get some saliva. Let's do a DNA test.
The little prick was already,
Come on. Yeah. I don't know if the child's mine or not. I am not against funding or finding out. No court order is needed, despite not knowing for sure. I've given Ashley $2.5 million, and I'm sending her $500,000 a year. Huh. That's what Elon Musk put on X yesterday. This is fresh. This is from Elon Musk on X yesterday, the 31st.
So she wants more money. Okay.
Or, maybe she's looking just to make all kinds of noise and just have Elon, maybe give her the shut up and shut your pie hole money,
I guess.
Yeah, here's a giant chunk and sign this NDA. Just stop talking.
Tell you what, man, for $2.5 million and $500,000 in perpetuity, Elon can get me pregnant. If not, he can have fun trying.
All right. What time is it? 8:49, rolling up on 8:50 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, heads up here. More than 224,000 kids' jewelry making kits are being recalled because there's a chemical hazard that could contaminate your kid.
Great. Fantastic.
Is that lovely? All right, time for an MJ Morning Show public service announcement. LaRose Industries. LaRose Industries. I love anything that ends with industries,
LaRose Industries.
LaRose Industries recalled 224,100 crazy, that's CRA-Z, Gemex art kits. Yeah, the gel-to-gem jewelry kit. Because they learned that the resin in the kits contains a hazardous amount of acrylate. What the hell is acrylate? Can you look this up?
It's a liquid that can cause skin and eye and respiratory irritation.
That's lovely. All right, so do your kids have the Crazy Art Gemex gel-to-gem jewelry making kit? I mean, they sold 224,000 of these damn things.
You look at it. It's branded by Disney over here. This is the officially licensed Minnie Mouse version of this Gemex Crazy.
Oh, my God. So Minnie Mouse might be poisoning the kidlets.
Oh, no. Mickey, what did I do to the kids?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to poison the kids with the acrylate.
I have skin and eye and respiratory irritation.
It's clearly not the happiest jewelry on earth.
What crap did you give me?
Yeah, the recall alert said the resin in liquid form can cause exactly what Fester just said. When inhaled, touched, or ingested.
Skin and eye irritation.
Hey, you dumbass kids, don't eat the jewelry. The amount in the product outweighs what's allowed in children's products under the Federal Hazardous Substances Act.
See, now I want to know what is the acceptable amount.
Guess what? We'll never know because I'm sure that agency's been fired. They've all been fired. Hazards everywhere.
Doge.
Hazard every. You're fired. We don't need any stinking agency looking after. Just fire everybody. 10 models of the Crazy Art Gemex gel-to-gem kits are included. Yeah, the recalled jewelry-making kits have resin bottles and a UV setting light that come in boxes labeled Crazy Art or Gemex Crazy Gel-to-Gem. Yeah, so the kits were sold at Target, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Joann fabric stores.
Oh.
Bye-bye, Joann.
I mean, you can't return them to a Joann's, right?
Shutting them down. Also sold online at Amazon, sold at Target, Walmart. Yeah, they were sold. Well, holy crap. They were sold January 2023 through September of 2024. So all the kids have been poisoned already.
Yes. Yes, you know if you have it.
Yeah, the resin is only hazardous if it isn't cured, meaning there's... Oh, so it's the liquid version, the liquid form.
Yeah, when you're going to breathe it, when it's coming out of the tube as you're hovering over it is when it's hazardous.
Yeah. Yeah. Also being recalled, the LaRose Industries Gemex Jewelry Fun with Mercury and Arsenic kits.
So they have the
and,
mercury.
And plutonium dust. Those kits are being recalled as well.
Here's the Crazy Art Plutonium kit with shimmer and sparkle.
Obviously, I'm joking. Anyway,
$21.89 on Amazon.
8:54 at the MJ Morning Show. This brings to a close over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. What are you giving me the...
Yeah. Thank you for commenting that you're joking as you're talking about the plutonium kit.
No, because Andrew was giving me a look like I was serious.
Shut up, Andrew. Leave the jokes to us.
All right, 8:54. All right, 9 o'clock hour. A lot of crap is next. When we get back, more on the missing police officer scam. Yeah, we brought this up yesterday. So more on the missing police officer scam. And Is there any new news on why a 7-Eleven clerk shot a customer? This is bizarre.
I have a theory.
All right, and then a neurologist eats these 8 foods all the time to keep his brain healthy. You want to know what a neurologist is eating to keep his brain all healthy? We'll tell you next. On the MJ Morning Show on Q105 104.7 FM. Yeah, this missing female police officer scam is just rampant. You know, we had the Plant City version, right? We had this on the show yesterday.
Yeah, they're the first local agency that I saw that addressed it.
There is no missing police officer. And I'm getting texts from people I know. Yeah, they're seeing this like pop up 200 times a day on Facebook. Yeah, viral Facebook post claiming female cop has gone missing is a scam. And it's like hitting dozens of law enforcement. It's not like one agency. It just so happens that now one of the scams has mentioned the Plant City Police Department in Hillsborough County. Not true. There's no missing Plant City female police officer. There is no missing female police officer in a suburb called Buckeye in Arizona, 40 miles west of Phoenix.
Here's Henderson, Kentucky.
There is no female missing police officer in Henderson, Kentucky.
Can't Facebook...
Hang on.
Do
Stop.
something?
Stop.
What?
There's no missing female police officer in Great Falls, Montana.
Oh, I thought that one was real.
There is no missing police officer in Suffolk, Virginia. All right.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place. It's a total scam.
And then it has a photo of a female officer in a dark navy or
Right.
black uniform.
But I'm still trying to figure out what is the play here.
Is it to click a link or to share information?
What is this one here? This is Chambers County. Harris Fort Bend. Is that It's not like, what,
I think
Indiana?
This is from Indiana, and the
Yeah.
Kentucky station was reporting on it.
All right, female police. Here's the fake post for Chambers County in Indiana, we think. Female police officer missing in Chambers County. A female police officer, Katie Cunningham, 28, has gone missing, and the authorities are seeking assistance in locating her. Her vehicle was discovered last night with her daughter inside, but unfortunately, Officer Cunningham remains unaccounted for. She is described as being 5'9", 163 pounds, a silver alert. Silver alert? That's for elderly
people.
Yeah. A silver alert has been issued indicating that Officer Cunningham may be in extreme danger and in the need of immediate medical attention. The community's help is urgently required. Sharing this information only takes 2 seconds. But what is the game here? What is the play? What are they trying to do with the scam? How are they trying to rip you off?
I don't know. But it's all a lie.
It is.
It doesn't exist.
And it hit the Plant City Police Department locally. And it's all fake. It's all fictitious. The photo the scam used was 10 years old.
Yeah, who is the photo of?
Cunningham has never been missing from any. And I wonder if all the scams are using the same picture and just they're using different police departments. See, here's what some of the cops are saying.
So hold on.
Yeah.
The police officer, she is from Great Falls, Montana.
So that's the original?
Noted the photo is a real officer, their own Sergeant Katie Cunningham, but it's from 10 years ago.
My
okay.
God.
So she is a law enforcement officer in Montana.
So law enforcement is saying what I'm asking, that they're not sure what the hell the scammers are trying to do by posting this missing female police officer erroneous, fake, fraudulent post.
They acknowledge that they have her height wrong. She is a petite 5'3".
She's not 5'9".
This whole thing's fake.
All right, please. Oh, on a public service note, well, that was as well. But we have talked about carbon monoxide poisoning multiple times. I just traveled this weekend. When I went to the Philippines, in my travel bag, I had my portable travel battery-sealed lithium-ion Kidda carbon monoxide detector. Had it on the boat with me, the liveaboard I was on scuba diving for a week in the middle of the Sulu Sea. I was land-based in Batangas area of the Philippines, in Anilao. I was there with my carbon monoxide detector. I travel with this thing. I just was in New York and Connecticut over the weekend with the family. And kind of ironic, the fire alarm goes off at a Best Western in Connecticut. There was no fire. There was no flames, nothing. It was some kind of false alarm. But I also had my carbon monoxide detector in the motel room at the Best Western. I bring this up because two items. I've had this in the pile for a couple of days, that 3 young American women, apparently on spring break, died at a Belize resort because of carbon monoxide
What
poisoning.
a nightmare.
I mean, if they would have had this damn $40, $39 carbon monoxide portable detector, all 3 of these girls would probably still be alive. Listen to this. It's from
This is from the KTLA station, but it's been around.
Yeah.
All stations.
Yeah, I had this the week I came back, so I had this last week.
So the deaths happened in February.
Yeah. Cause of death has been determined for 3 young women from the United States found dead in their hotel room at a resort in San Pedro, Belize. Sounds like Ambergris Key. The trio were discovered deceased on February 22nd in a room at the Royal Kalal Beach Resort after housekeepers reported to management that there had been no answer to knocks at the door for a second consecutive day. Yeah, they found the bodies of 26-year-old Wafay El Arwar, 24-year-old Imani Mala, and 23-year-old Kutar Nakad, all 3 American. And in the room, they found alcohol, vomit, and gummies present.
Okay.
So they were doing a little bit of partying, but it turns out that none of the women had any illicit substances in their system. And apparently, Belize Fire Chief Colin Gillert told a Belizean television outlet that carbon monoxide poisoning was most likely the cause of their deaths.
Oh, wow. That's terrible.
Yeah. Unbelievable. On March 27th, the executive director of the National Forensic Services reported to a local outlet that all 3 women died from lethal levels of carbon monoxide in their systems, saying in a statement last week that a faulty instant water heater was likely the origin of the acute poisoning from the colorless, odorless gas. All right, that's number 1. 3 American young women, if they would have had a portable carbon monoxide detector like the one I carry, and I still have people all the time saying, hey, MJ, what's the carbon monoxide detector you tell us to get?
Yeah.
Tell you in a minute. Hang on. And now, guess what? You saw that the young kid of a major league pitcher, the 14-year-old son died?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Former Yankee pitcher.
Miller Gardner, the 14-year-old son of Yankee legend Brett Gardner. Now they're saying in Costa Rica that he might have died as a result of carbon. Did I say pitcher? I'm sorry, outfielder.
Yeah, former Yankee player.
Yeah, former Yankee player Brett Gardner, outfielder, not a pitcher. May have died as a result of carbon monoxide poisoning. Costa Rican authorities announced Monday they revealed investigators found high levels of the noxious gas in the family's hotel room. Yeah, Miller died suddenly on March 21st while on vacation in Costa Rica. Mystery bout of an illness affected multiple members of the Gardner family. This has, like, the hallmark has all the fingerprints of carbon monoxide poisoning as well.
It seems like the 10th story between this is Central America, but we've had other stories in the Caribbean.
It happens here in the States.
Mexico,
Yeah,
I've heard a couple
folks,
stories.
Again, get a portable carbon monoxide detector. It's the size of a couple of decks of cards. It's relatively small. It's like not much bigger than like a garage door opener clicker, like a TV remote, even smaller and stuff. So what I recommend is that you, and Amazon has it, so it's really easy to get on Amazon. But if you just search for Kidde, Kidde, the Kidde, they make the fire extinguishers and all kinds of crap. So Kidde, it's the 10-year sealed lithium-ion battery model. And it goes for like $39.99 or something. Yeah, you picked up the wrong one. No, Fester. Just type in my search terms.
Kidde carbon monoxide detector.
I said 10-year. 10-year sealed battery. It's the second one. Click on that. And it has a little digital display. So it is right there. Is that, Amazon. Amazon has it for $37.50 right now. That's the one I travel with. So right now it's 40% off list price. It's $37.50. And it's the Kidde carbon monoxide detector with 10-year battery. So 10-year sealed battery. It has a digital display. It tells you like parts per million if carbon monoxide is detected. And it's sealed, so you don't worry about the battery. It's got like a 10-year lithium ion. When it dies, you just chuck the thing away. In 10 years, you spend another $39, $40 to get the damn thing. So that's what I highly recommend. Just 2 stories. 3 young American girls, and now the son of this Yankee player, former Yankee player, Brett Gardner, might have died from carbon monoxide because the whole family had a touch of illness.
Yeah, they weren't feeling well.
And it seems like he got the lethal dose of the CO, the carbon monoxide.
That's terrible.
Yeah, awful, awful, awful story. All right, so what does a neurologist eat to stay healthy?
Is blueberries on the list?
Well, I guess you'll find out there, tough guy. This neurologist says, I eat these 8 foods to keep my brain all healthy.
Okay, let me guess.
All right, go ahead and guess, smart guy.
Some kind of leafy green is going to be on the list.
No, the first thing is dingleberries.
Well,
no, I'm kidding.
You need a sharp mind if you're going to go down that path.
Yeah, crunch berries.
Is blueberries, leafy green is going to be on there. Probably something like a carrot.
All right, let me go ahead and just read the list. How about that?
He doesn't eat like chicken rotisseries from Sam's Club because they have like all this stuff injected in them.
Can I just read the damn list? All right, so this neurologist says that he eats these 8 items because they're very good for your brain health. Wild fish. So he says wild fish, especially fatty fish containing omega-3 fatty acids. Listen, salmon's going to do that. Tuna is going to do that, but you ain't got to worry about the mercury, and I don't want to eat too much. So he says fresh fish.
What about canned
Hang
salmon?
on. No, you want to avoid a lot of the farm-raised stuff as well because the farm-raised stuff might have, feed that they use or other items that the fish are exposed to that you might not want to eat. I always look for wild caught. You always want to look for wild caught versus farm raised. So that's number one. Number two, leafy greens. Oh yeah, you showed me.
It's like I wrote this thing.
Yeah, leafy greens, lots of fiber, folate, lutein, beta carotene. Oh, he likes bok choy. I love bok choy.
Yeah.
I'll buy the big bok choy. I'll buy the little infant bok choy.
Call baby bok choy?
No, I call it infant bok choy. Okay.
Adolescent bok choy?
Asparagus. Kind of a pea smell there, but I love asparagus as well. Broccolini. So he says broccolini over regular broccoli.
What's broccolini?
Broccolini, that's like the thinner stalks.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know what broccolini is?
I don't eat many leafy greens.
Yeah, it's like almost like a thinner bok choy, but it has like a it's broccolini. I just look for broccolini.
All right.
And he says steamed or blanched or sautéed or easy. Toss with some olive oil, a little salt, roasted garlic. Always use the salt at the end of cooking. He likes asparagus. Yeah, fiber keeps your microbiome all happy up good. Tomatoes, likes tomato. Yeah, hey, Tom Brady doesn't Tom Brady avoid the nightshades and all that crap? So doesn't Tom Brady avoid tomatoes? Well, guess what? The neurologist says eat your freaking tomatoes.
Yeah.
Lycopene, baby. Yeah, tomatoes are a rich source of lycopene, a very powerful antioxidant related to beta carotene, crucial for brain health, combats inflammation, oxidative stress, helps prevent neurodegeneration. Says, I love buying the larger grape tomatoes or mandarin-sized tomato medley. Very versatile. Yeah. Walnuts and berries.
Aha.
Yeah, there you go.
Berries.
Yeah, they're your dingleberries, yeah. Says one of my favorite brain-healthy snacks is walnuts. Nuts are great in general, but all nuts are not created equally.
I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Walnuts have the highest ratio of omega-3 good fats. I'll tell you what, I go to Costco and I buy that big bag of walnut halves.
Yes.
Or whole, whatever it is. And man, I like a good walnut, man. I like to put those nuts in my mouth.
And people say that when you walk around the Costco and they say, wow, look at the bag of nuts on that guy.
So walnuts have the highest ratio of omega-3 good fats to omega-6 bad fats.
I've always heard that.
Yeah. Also eat blueberries almost every morning. I love blueberries. Rich in flavonoids, potent antioxidants. Again, this is a neurologist telling you what you should eat for your brain health.
I had blueberry Pop-Tarts this morning. I feel great.
Yeah. Also, overnight steel cut, not rolled oats with fresh berries and walnuts, an amazing healthy breakfast. Yeah, if you want to drizzle a little honey on that thing, maybe some maple syrup, but buy the real maple syrup. Don't buy the crap that doesn't have one shred, not one drop of real maple syrup. Yeah, don't do that. Olive oil, we know this. Olive oil is very healthy. I consume a lot of olive oil, but you know what? I had another story in yesterday's pile, which is still sitting around here somewhere, that doctors are saying that doesn't Kim Kardashian allegedly drink like a half a cup of olive oil a day?
Really?
Yeah, the doctors are saying you don't have to do that.
Seems a
Plus,
little
that's
excessive.
disgusting. That oily, man, that makes me want to gag. But olive oil, says the neurologist, is one of his favorite brain healthy foods. I cook with it almost every day. Not only is it literally a pressed vegetable, but it's full of unsaturated fats, help lower the bad LDL cholesterol. Then he's got turmeric, How do you pronounce it? Is it turmeric or turmeric?
I've always said turmeric.
Yeah, it's like kind of like that. It looks like yellow cake. You're like like uranium powder or something. Like you're making a bomb. Yeah, it's the turmeric. Can you bring up the talking dictionary? Let's settle this. All right.
Okay, fine.
Bring up m-w.com. But he likes turmeric or turmeric and ginger. Active compound is very good, antioxidant, blah, blah, blah. He says coffee and tea as well. So he's a big fan. He drinks tea almost every day. Teas are dried whole plants, good source of phytonutrients, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, the neurologist on nutrition for brain health, he says homemade popcorn, if you feel indulgent, you can buy whole kernels at the grocery store. Well, duh. Place them in a silicone popcorn popper and drizzle a little bit of canola oil on top. I thought thought folks didn't like seed oils like canola oil.
Is canola oil like a vegetable oil?
Yeah, it's a seed oil. It comes from a seed.
I don't know what the hell it is.
Place them in the silicone, pop them in the microwave, pull them out when you don't hear the pop. Anyway, so he likes homemade popcorn as well. So there you go. All right, you got the talking dictionary?
All right, I have two pronunciations.
Yeah, I think both might be acceptable. So I've heard turmeric or turmeric and turmeric.
Turmeric.
All right, here we go.
Turmeric. Okay.
Turmeric, and then let's
turmeric.
And
turmeric.
Oh no, Rick's got a tumor. It's turmeric.
Oh no,
it's turmeric.
I've been suspect about that for a while.
Turmeric.
It's turmeric. Yeah, turmeric. Yeah.
Turmeric.
All right, faster. That's enough. That's enough.
Turmeric.
Faster.
All right, stop. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Turmeric.
All right, we got to take a break. Hey, final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is coming up next here on Q105. Now, I'm looking for my Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hang on a minute.
It's not a tuba?
I'll be back.
No, it's not.
Oh, what's that?
Play it again.
I'll be back.
Where did that come from?
I'll be back.
What are we even doing with that on our soundboard?
I don't know, but this is what I was looking for when I was talking about turmeric.
It's not a tumor.
All right, 9:22 at the.
Turmeric.
All right, it's enough. 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show on a Tuesday is next. Do we have any more information? Can you search and see if anything's coming up on the 7-Eleven shooting in town?
I'll see if there's an update.
Turmeric.
There is a Diddy update, a Diddy Combs update coming up. And why might Taylor Swift be smiling? Yeah, freedom of information. Maybe out the window. Hold on a minute. And then, well, there's a rumor that this individual is going to take over Hoda Kotb's place on the Today Show. A big name, huge name. Everyone knows it. But then there are other reports that are saying, nope, not going to happen. So I don't know what the hell's going on. All right. A lot of stuff. Final chunk. MJ Morning Show next here on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hey, is there anything new on the 7-Eleven investigation? I mean, this is just bizarre. Customer deceased after being shot by a 7-Eleven employee in the back of the store near the drink coolers.
Yeah, no new information.
What the hell happened? So there's no motive here?
I mean, was it a robbery?
Customer at 7-Eleven was killed last night, shot by an employee, according to TPD. Got a call a little after 6 p.m. about some kind of problem.
Apparently there was an argument with an employee?
Yeah, disturbance at the 7-Eleven. This is, of course, off of North Nebraska. Police show up. TPD finds a guy with a gunshot. Took him to a local hospital. He did not make it. The employee, the 7-Eleven employee, you know, you can get shot at 7-Eleven between 7 and 11.
Those are the hours.
Actually, most 7-Elevens are 24 hours these days, but
you would think that most of the shooting happens between 11 and 7, but no, it happened like at 6:15 in the afternoon.
You're right. You think the overnight hours are the most dangerous, yeah. Last I saw last night on the news is they're still trying to figure out what the hell happened. But the employee, the 7-Eleven employee, maybe they got into an argument. Maybe the shriveled up hot dogs that have been on the hot dog rollers for like 16 hours already that day. I don't know.
You know, I've been noticing across a lot of convenience stores, all of the Slurpee or icy flavors haven't been functioning. They really may have like, you know, cherry and Coke, but like the other flavors.
Wait a second. You're noticing an influx or an epidemic of non-working frozen slushy and Slurpee flavors?
I mean, you go to a place and they have, 8 slushy flavors, and you expect all 8
what's
to
the
be
one that has
functioning.
the wall of slushies? And I think Circle K has some of the newer
Circle
stores
K
have
has
the
a great
wall,
one, yes.
like Raceway, right?
Racetrack,
Raceway. Oh, yeah.
They're all really investing and doubling down on
listen,
their Slurpee game.
The first one was 7-Eleven.
The Slurpee.
The Slurpee is the quintessential original.
I love a Slurpee.
You know what? I remember when the Slurpee had a little more carbonation in it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
This hold on. Andrew was giving me a look. Why'd you give me a Why'd you give me a Scooby-Doo?
I've never been a Slurpee person, but I don't remember carbonation.
Yes. Slurpees used to have a higher degree of carbonation, and then for some reason...
Now it's just air.
Some reason, like 20-something years ago, maybe more, they backed off the carbonation. But the carbonation in a Slurpee used to be much more pronounced. So who decided to uncarbonate or decarbonate or... Because they used to have CO2 tanks. They used to have carbon dioxide tanks that were hooked up.
Is that what pushed it out of the
like
spout?
like a soda fountain? That's not.
I don't know.
No,
I'm asking.
it just gave it a little bit of a carbonated fizz. And Slurpees used to have it. They still might have it, but it's, hey, do we have any Slurpee experts? Any Slurpee mechanics? Any of the folks that work on the machines? Any 7-Eleven employees? So what's going on? Why did Slurpees have more carbonation years ago than they have now? If there's anything now. If you know, 800-990-1047. Yeah, we do a little bit of everything on this show.
But I'm telling you, if this 7-Eleven had 8 slushy stands or Slurpee flavors and two of them were working.
7-Eleven is called a Slurpee.
I know.
Slushy's a whole different brand. And then you have Icy. Icy's the lightest of them all. Icy is the most air pumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm making a definitive factual statement.
I've never had them side by side to have a taste test.
Oh, come on.
Because they melt too quickly.
The Icy's more like the cotton candy of frozen slushy type drinks.
But if the Slurpee machine is out, that's...
So hold on. We morph from a guy getting shot at 7-Eleven to this whole discussion on Slurpees. All right. Does anyone know? Anyone know? Any experts? Does anyone else remember when the Slurpee used to be much more carbonated, and you actually got that carbonated fizz from a Slurpee? You just don't seem to feel it as much anymore. And I get a Slurpee every now and then.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at a picture of another 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I mean, they have every flavor from cherry to now they have all the soda brands.
They've got Pepsi and Coke Slurpees.
Yeah, I mean,
you got the Mountain Dew for varieties.
I've seen those before. I saw a lemon Sprite version recently that was very good. Here's the pina colada. Here's the banana.
Yeah.
I mean, if these are out, if you come there for a pina colada,
chunky anchovy,
delicious.
Yes,
delicious. Look,
Yeah.
Cherry Airheads. How good is that?
Hang on a minute. We have an Icy Tech.
Good.
Yeah. Listen, I like an Icy, but it is the airiest of them all. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
I mean, he knows more about it than any of us.
Hey, Will in Lakeland, you're an Icy Tech?
Yeah, I'm an Icy service guy.
Oh, very good. All right. So, first of all, I do like an Icy, but Icy seems to have the most air. It's like the lightest and fluffiest of the frozen drinks. Do you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, 7-Eleven, they lowered their carbonation on there. They started doing that like around 2012.
Yeah, so you hold on. See, this is what I'm looking for. So, Will, you will concur that 7-Eleven used to have a much more carbonated Slurpee.
Yeah, it used to be 60 psi going into the barrel of the unit,
Right.
and now they're down to 30 now.
That's what I was thinking.
So-
I think it was about 60, 62 psi going into the barrel.
Yeah, it's all about savings, and a lot of people at the time complained that that it was a heavier drink, not enough foam, and a lot, a wetter drink. So
that's
7-Eleven just kept on doing it, and to this day they still do it.
You know what? But I preferred it with more carbonation. I like the little carbonated zip. Now,
yeah, most of them have gone down to the 30. Even our Icy machines have gone down to the 30. And it is CO2 that pushes it out.
Oh, it is? Okay, so Festa was...
Yeah, I mean, it gives it the pressure.
Yeah, it gives the pressure inside the barrel. It makes as it's spinning, it's agitating the carbonation into the drink, so it comes out like a soda.
See, this is what I love. This is what I love about this show is I can ask for anything and I get a phone call. I got I got numbers. I got 60 and 30%. I mean, where are you going to get this crap from? Anyway, Will, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you phoning in.
That's some great
I listen
information.
to you every day. Keep it up.
Thank you, Will. Have a great one.
That's really good
Look at
stuff.
that. He's an Icy technician. I've seen the Icy trucks running around. Have you seen them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, MJ, I have no inside information. However, I'm leaning to a Slurpee disagreement that led to the shooting.
I don't think there was a... Man, but I want to know, why did a 7-Eleven clerk shoot a customer? And it wasn't like it was at the register where, the customer pulls a knife and threatens the...
Yeah, it was back by the Slurpee case, by the freezer case.
Also, I don't know if 7-Eleven employees are supposed to have a firearm on them.
I don't care what the policy is. I'm taking that job.
Yeah. Listen, if I'm working 3 a.m, I'm having a sawed-off shotgun under the counter in front of me.
I'm working any time at 7-Eleven.
And listen, this was at 6 o'clock at night as well. I mean,
the sun was still out.
Exactly. Again, major mystery why a 7-Eleven clerk shoots a customer in the back of the store near the drink coolers. The drink cooler wall. I don't know. All right, Final Four. So we know what the Final Four are in the men's championship. And the women, the Final Four for the women, it's coming to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it gets set. Is it tonight or are they set already?
I don't know on the women, but I know that hey, Andrew, can you double check? I think we have the Final Four at Amalie on the 4th and 5th. So what is that?
Yeah.
Is that Friday, Saturday?
No,
or Thursday, Friday? The women.
Crap, I don't know.
Well, hold on.
So it's UConn, UCLA, South Carolina, and Texas.
Yeah, the 4th is Friday. Yeah, so
they play Friday, then their championship game is Sunday. The men play Saturday, and their championship game is going to be on Monday.
Yeah, that's typically the way the men.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is that with the men's Final Four,
yes,
every number 1 seed is in.
Yes,
and I don't think that's happened for a while. There's some kind of stat on that.
2008 was the only other time.
Okay,
and it's Florida, Auburn, Duke, and Houston.
Yeah, so all number 1 seeds are in the Final Four.
Yeah, so that's cool.
So you don't have any one of the crazy outliers. One of the no Cinderella stories.
No.
Yeah, you got no Gonzagas. No Gazangas.
What a great name.
Gadangas. Yeah, going on. And hey, listen, this is good news for the kids here. Hey, Fester, Tico is going to extend the streetcar hours. The Tico streetcar line?
Yeah.
Listen, they're going to extend the hours because of the people coming into downtown for the Final Four, for the women. Women Final Four.
Hey, I love the streetcar, man.
So you ought to bring your kids out, ride the streetcar like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll last that long, although he'd love to try.
All right, 9:39 at the MJ Morning Show. I didn't know this. Hey, give me the Full House theme, would you please? Yeah, let me know when you have it.
What happened at Full House?
Dave Coulier.
He's battling something, isn't
he?
Yeah,
I didn't recall this.
So John Stamos went over to his house when it first came out. Remember John Stamos took a picture of himself bald-headed, but he would wear like a skull cap?
Oh, you know what? We did talk about this. I forgot about it. But Coulier is now cancer-free. Yeah, now that you mentioned...
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the story.
John Stamos went over to support him. They were both bald in an Instagram picture.
We had talked about this. Yeah, so the Full House star, Dave Coulier has been declared cancer-free, so he shared this on social media. Yeah, he was diagnosed in October of 2024 with stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Completed his chemotherapy treatments back in February. I think he had 5 chemo treatments, and he said that they were rough. But now he's cancer-free, so clearly it paid off. Dave is cancer-free. Join me in celebrating the amazing news. So congratulations, Dave. Oh, very likable guy.
Yeah. Tell that to Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, there are a lot of bad people that, probably deserve getting that more than Dave Coulier.
Not according to Alanis.
He had 6 chemo treatments. Lost all his hair.
Yeah.
His buddy John Stamos wore a bald cap. Oh, I remember now.
Yeah.
We gave John Stamos crap for putting on a bald cap and not actually shaving his hair bald.
I mean, the world gave him crap for it, but still, he's trying to support his buddy. Come on, this is a joke.
Look at this. Are they going to come back around with names? That's the question. Sean Diddy and one of the accusers' lawsuits has been dismissed because she refused to reveal her identity. Well, at some point, I guess you're going to have to reveal the identity instead of just listen, sometimes in filings, you can do Jane Doe and the actual identity is sealed, but in public record, it's a Jane Doe or John Doe.
Is it the criminal or the civil case?
This is Sean Diddy Combs in his one of the civil cases against him.
In civil cases, you have to say who you are, but in criminal cases, I think you can be protected.
Yeah. I wonder if there are provisions to protect even in a civil matter. So Diddy Combs, Sean Diddy, had a little small win in civil court. A woman anonymously filed a sexual assault lawsuit, and it was dismissed because she didn't want to reveal her identity. Yesterday, U.S. District Court Judge Louis J. Lyman issued an order closing Jane Doe's case, according to a filing reviewed by USA Today. Lyman noted that on March 6th, he ruled that Doe could not proceed with her case anonymously and ordered for her to refile her initial complaint using her real name. As of today, March 31st, 2025, yesterday, Doe has not filed a complaint in her own name, nor has she sought an extension of time to do so. So the case has been dismissed. So is she going to come back around? In a lawsuit from back in October, Jane Doe claimed that Combs had forced himself upon her at a party in 1995. A party for the Biggie Smalls music video of some type. How about that? That's about the only win that Sean Diddy Combs is seeing these days, you know?
Yeah, I mean, his real uphill climb is starting, is it next month, May?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The trial starting in...
I believe, yeah, his criminal trial, the federal charges for trafficking and, I mean, all kind. I mean, he could go away forever. I mean, Sean Diddy Combs might not see the light of day, for the rest of his life. I wonder if he's aware of that information.
I'm shocked at this information.
Yeah, he should be.
I hate to be the one to break it to him, but...
You know how celebrities' planes are tracked? And you know the guy...
So there was a guy who was, I think it was a University of Central Florida student who relentlessly tracked Elon's plane and Taylor Swift's plane.
Yeah, he was a UCF student, wasn't he?
Yeah. And Elon kind of tried to threaten him to go away, and it didn't work. I think he offered him like $5,000 or something.
Yeah.
To go away.
Hey, here's a double Whopper with cheese. Go away,
So what, are they going to make that illegal?
Well, here's the deal. Taylor Swift may be able to shield flight information.
Why?
And Taylor, so I think the same guy was also tracking Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah, the same guy.
So Elon, Taylor, and, tracking celebrities and all their private flights, right? So the FAA will now withhold private aircraft owners' information from public upon request, citing security concerns. And the decision comes after celebrities like Taylor Swift faced scrutiny for their private jet usage, tracked via publicly available FAA data. But still, if you know the planes they're on, if you know the tail numbers, the N number, like, N988, Whiskey Foxtrot or whatever, if you know the tail number, then you can, track the aircraft. And even when you've got airplane registrants that will block the flight data from like Flight Radar 24 or FlightAware, you can still use the ADSB exchange, and all that data is all there. So when, some of the people are being sneaky by blocking their information. So, if you want to file a noise complaint, you can just go to the ADSB exchange. So if I go to the app that I use the most is Flight Radar 24.
Yeah, it's a good app.
Yeah, and that's a great app. But a lot of the private jets that are flying over South Tampa, over Beach Park with a one right landing, which is a voluntary noise abatement runway, a lot of these smarty pants think they can block it, but then I move one little icon over on my phone, and I go from Flight Radar 24. If they have their tail number and info blocked, I just go to this little green thing, and it's the ADSB exchange, and then I see all their information, because that's not blocked. That's the actual data that's being transmitted from the aircraft, and they can't block that. So Taylor Swift and others might be able to withhold some information, but if you know the aircraft tail number they're on, you'll still be able to track the flight. So we'll see. Hey, by the way, there is allegedly ghastly video and pictures of the Gene Hackman crime, or not crime scene, but death scene.
I don't need to see that.
Yeah, but those will stay sealed.
Good.
Yep. So the judge out in New Mexico is sealing the death scene photos and the video from the police and the medical examiner, but there are some other, what they're calling grim details, will be released in the coming days. On Monday, a Santa Fe judge honored the Hackman's family's request for an injunction blocking release of some of the first responders' findings after they discovered the... So has the family claimed the bodies yet? Remember, we had a story, last week?
The bodies remained unclaimed.
Nobody had claimed Gene Hackman's body. I mean, no one got Popeye's body. French Connection.
I mean, you could have said like Lex Luthor's body.
Yeah. And then I'm a little confused here. Finally here today on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. I saw one story that Kelly Clarkson is set to take over the vacant chair left by Hoda Kotb on the Today Show.
Right?
And then another story says, not so fast. So I don't understand. All right, so here's one story. Kelly Clarkson is set to take over Hoda Kotb's former spot on the Today Show sofa. An NBC insider told the Daily Mail the singer-turned-chat show host is contemplating taking the prestigious gig with bosses at NBC, desperate to keep her amid claims that she's been overwhelmed by work involving her show, Kelly Clarkson's show. 30 Rock spy explained to Daily Mail that brass is scrambling to keep Clarkson after moving filming for her show to the network's New York City headquarters at 30 Rock to keep her happy. So here's one report saying that she's going to get the Today Show gig. What, next to Savannah Guthrie?
No, next to the Bush.
So
Jenna Bush.
So for not the main hour.
Yeah, the big hours still Savannah Guthrie.
The big hours are 7 and 8, and that's Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin. Okay, all right. Yeah. So then this is for like the third hour,
like the 9 o'clock hour.
And beyond, which Hoda stayed on for that. I got you.
Hoda and Jenna.
So it would be like maybe Kelly Clarkson and then Jenna Bush, George W.'s daughter. All right, she's been on there forever. She does a good job. But here's the deal. So one site here, you got Daily Mail saying that, Kelly Clarkson is going to be the Today Show host. But then what's this other one? This is, New York Post?
I mean, there's nothing's etched in stone. There's still a long way
away. No, the headline was more dramatic. Go back to the headline. The headline, look at the headline. Inside NBC search for Hoda Kotb's Today Show replacement and why it won't be Kelly Clarkson.
No, Kelly Clarkson!
Yeah.
NBC is not close to naming a permanent co-host.
Kelly Clarkson! Kelly
Clarkson!
All right. There we have it. All right, I think we're done. Anything else, Fester? Speak now or hold your tongue until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
I'll hold my tongue till tomorrow.
9:51 at the MJ Morning Show. Folks, have a fantastic day. We'll see you back here bright and early, 6 a.m. If you want to see what the show looks like and you've never checked out MJ TV. So the live stream ends right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, Andrew, do you keep the live stream until I hit like the closing mark? That you keep that till the very end?
I think so, yeah.
All right, just out of curiosity. So if you want to see us, if you just listen on the radio or on audio streaming, you can watch us. So just go to mjmorningshow.com, click on MJ TV on the top navigational bar, and then you'll get the page to watch us live 6 to 10. Click on the logo, or you can watch other shows. Hey, how quickly do we post today's YouTube video link? Does it happen like instantly, Andrew?
Gets posted to the web, to the Q105 myQ105.com website.
All right, so it gets posted fairly quickly to our website.
In a few minutes, yeah.
In a few minutes. And with that, I guess we'll see you tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Oh, the Cash Kitty's coming back, which is always fun. So the Cash Kitty comes back, next week? Cash Kitty's back on Monday, I believe. Yeah, Cash Kitty comes back. So your chance to win, grand, all day long. So very excited about that. What are you laughing at over there?
That's great. I love that cat.
Yeah, I love the cat. It's all mangy, but it does hand out cash. All right, folks, have a great day. Do me a favor. Let's be careful out there.
Hear the latest MJ Morning Show podcast on the Q105 app, powered by Anna Jar and Levine.